This is J 2 cents. Please like, subscribe, and share. He works on computers. J 2 cents. Please like, subscribe, and share. Thank you.
Very particular tastes in design and created his own company creating products based on what he would have loved to have seen in the industry. Now, Singularity Computers was an SI that was custom builds only. It would take on clientele and build custom computers based on their needs. And they were like all one-off. It wasn't a pre-built by any standard. But this is his latest iteration of how can I change the industry? This is the power board. The power board is designed on the same philosophy as distribution blocks for water cooling. You take some acrylic, you make layers, you make paths, and you have an inlet and an outlet, and it transfers fluid somewhere without needing tubes. It's what this is right here. This is actually a front-mounted reservoir, but same kind of concept. The fluid will move around in this, and it's designed to do nothing but look pretty, honestly, and give a little bit of extra volume to the system. This, in the back right here, the motherboard tray of the Spectre has always been a distribution block for water cooling. So you can see you've got your inlets and it will move around, and this is a reservoir. You got a D5 pump built in, and it moves it around and allows you to cleanly have fluid distributed. The Spectre 3 has also brought a few different changes when it comes to the design. So as you can see, we do have a pretty distribution block. The inlet's up here, goes around, comes back out right there, and it's just a way to be able to make the front look kind of nice. In terms of airflow, there is a gap between this front plate and the acrylic. It's not going to be the most optimal airflow, but if you got a 360 on the top and a 360 on the front and 3 fans, it's going to flow plenty, especially for water cooling. But as you can see right here, increase the volume of the reservoir. If you were to compare this to the original Spectre case that we did for the Post Malone build, you'll notice they've made the acrylic thicker. They've made the channels deeper, so there's more volume, better flow, easier to fill, easier to bleed. Something else worth mentioning too is vertical mount. You can vertical mount your GPU. You can even SLI vertical mount if you want. They do have an SLI vertical mount adapter here, so that if you were running SLI for overkill reasons other than looking cool or maybe Port Royal benchmarks or something, you can run dual vertical mounted water-cooled graphics cards right here. Not a whole lot more to talk about besides the fact that the build quality, the grade of the aluminum, the anodizing, this is not powder coated, this is anodized. That is obviously the process of using electrolysis and dyes to dye the metal itself. It actually will open up the pores of the metal, accept the dye, and you get this awesome bead blasted texture and anodized. And they do have other colors available as well for this. Nothing's perfect in my mind, and I kind of wish they had done the feet design a little different. The case is fairly weighty. I mean, this is not cheap grade aluminum. Aluminum, or aluminium, depending on the world, will be lighter than steel naturally. But these are very thick plates, so they have some heft to them, absolutely no doubt. The foot design is something that always concerned me about the Spectre. The way it all mounts right here, and then you've got this kind of a stilt that sticks out. The problem is...
Hello, how are you? Hope everything's doing good today. Glad you joined me. Hope we have a productive day. Are you gonna speak with me, or are you just gonna watch me? Well, I guess you're not gonna talk, so I guess I'll just watch my stupid video. Like, Please like, subscribe, and share J2 Cents. That's who I'm watching. Thank you. Hey Moose, how you doing this morning? Good to see you, brother. You guys still in Tennessee? This case does look kind of cool.
Is it's always been a little wobbly. There's some flex in there. If you see, I can push it down. That's all flex. Now, most of the weight is going to be back here on the motherboard, which is on the same plane, or the motherboard tray, which is on the same plane as where the mount is, right? This vertical line right here. But if you start mounting heavy graphics cards out ahead of that, then you can start to get some sag on it. They also...
Well, that's cool, though, that you got, just one more day. It means like you're getting closer to home. No doubt about it. Yeah, it is a long state. You'll have to show a map sometime of how you guys went home. Oh, you know what I thought was a kind of a cool idea? I don't know where I'd put it, but I thought about getting a world map and putting pins on the map of everywhere that people have watched me. No, I'm not building a new case. I already have a new case. My new computer isn't working, but no, I just, looking at this, thought it was cool. I watched this guy quite a bit. It's a pretty cool looking case, though. Probably cost you $1,000 or more just for the fucking case. This shit's for rich people, not for poor white trash like me. Yeah. Well, I guess.
Still have a two-piece foot design. And I do remember a conversation with Daniel in the past where he said he wanted to make this a single piece to help with that flex. I'm not sure. I mean, if you look at the way that the junction is right there, it looks like it's designed to not flex so much.
I don't know. It only says you're the only one here. It says there's only one person. So I don't know. Never know about this damn counter anyway. I had one day that it kept saying 0 all fucking stream. And I wasn't live when I was live. It was pretty weird. They fuck you through the drive-thru every time, damn it.
The problem is metal does flex. That's the way metal works. You know, you can't really help it. So as you can see, there is some flex. Same thing on this front piece right here. You can see there is flex in there. But it is an open air chassis. It is an open air chassis that essentially has a spine that everything hangs off of. So there is going to be some flex. So my only concern is if you get a heavy water block here, I mean, water blocks for graphics cards can get pretty heavy. So if you get a heavy water block here, you start adding tubes and stuff, is it going to cause this to flex more? And I feel like if they had triangulated this, if they had made this piece somehow touch the foot, filled that gap right there, then it wouldn't be able to wobble. Just to prove that it's the metal flexing, all I did was shove a piece, like electrical tape roll in there, and I'm gonna shove this tape roll right here, right? So, I mean, I feel like that surprises me, honestly, knowing Daniel and his level of perfectionism. It really surprises me that this is still the design. Even if you only did the rear, like that, it's a million times better. So I'm just a little shocked by that. Look at the machining on that, though. I mean, this is what I'm talking about. This level of perfectionism. You can tell they are not sparing any expense on whoever their machinist is that's making these parts for them. So to go from something that beautiful to wobbly is really disappointing to me. And I would absolutely come up with a method of stopping that from wobbling. Even if I take a piece of rubber, like a rubber foot, and just kind of like shove it in there. Another thing to point out with rubber, these feet do not have any rubber on the bottom. It will scratch your desk if you do not add some sort of a rubber strip or something on the bottom yourself. Keep that in mind. I don't know if that's supposed to be that way. No feet whatsoever, which means vibrations from this fans and stuff are making noise will transfer to your table. Rubber isolating pads need to be added to these feet, Daniel. I know this is an early edition. They may already be there. I'm pointing out based on what my chassis currently has. All right, so plugs, we've got our Molex plug right here, which is just a 2-pin, 12 volt and ground for our D5 pump right here, which is built into the distribution block. Front panel connectors, and then fan header. This is, I believe, PWM. Yes, this is just an RPM wire and potentially PWM wire for the D5. Well, this just arrived. So I kind of knew this was coming. It's actually a little more than I was expecting. So this is the retail version of the power board. There was some, remember this is a prototype. I said that at the start, that there were some changes and small tweaks that Singularity likes to do to their systems or their cases as they're designing and building. So I've had this since before it launched, but the power board aspect of it, which is something they continued working on pre-launch, is something that was very prototype. So let me show you what we have here. We have a bit of difference here, and I'll come back to this in a second. Just fall, stay up there. Thank you. This is a fully retail version of the power board. It is flat packed, the Spectre 3. So these are, look at the packaging of this. This is like, feels like wetsuit material. It's like a neoprene. But anyway, this is all the pieces of the Spectre. And this is typically how you receive them. We received ours, see, these are all the pieces of the system right there. So we received ours assembled and in like a flight case, one of those black and silver, looks like stuff like a band carries all their equipment in. But this is typically how you'll receive it, and then you have to assemble it yourself. So I like that we have extra pieces here now. You can say a lot about a brand based on their packaging. They don't spare any expense when it comes to the experience you get. This power board and manifold, the motherboard tray, they actually refer to this all as the manifold. And so if you hear me refer to manifold, I basically just mean motherboard tray. So this one is actually a non-see-through, and there's fingerprints and stuff on it because they were obviously handling it. I really kind of like this one more than the see-through. One of the things I never really liked, and you can see where that's sort of touching right there and creating what looks like a wet spot, but that's not going to be visible once the motherboard's on there anyway. Standoffs are also not in there, so I'd have to transfer them. But I love the black on this. I mean, I've always liked the distribution block, aspect of the Spectre, but I've never been a fan of the see-through. But anyway, so here's some changes here. It's kind of difficult to see, but you can see down in there on the prototype, there's 3 24 pins, which required custom cables to go from the power supply to the power board to distribute power. Now we've gone back to a more traditional setup here. So we've got a single 24 pin, and then we've got EPS power and PCI Express power here. So
Welcome everybody that's in the chat today. Glad to see you here. I'm not sure who all's here, but it doesn't really matter. All are welcome as long as you have positive thoughts. No doubt about it. Whoops. What the hell happened here? Huh. There we go. That looks better. Okay.
So those are standard cables you'll find in any power supply, which you'd still want to get custom cables made through Singularity. And by the way, you can customize the links with them. These are just the basic black sleeved cables that they sent me. But you can get them in different sizes and links if you order them custom to them. So if you know exactly what the link needs to be coming out from the PCI Express, say to the graphics card, especially if you're using like their 180 reverse adapter, so it points straight back, you can measure and give them custom links and they'll send those to you. But something else they're also working on, these are also prototypes. That's why they are not the cleanest, prettiest looking boards, but they've got 90-degree adapters for motherboards like mine, which use a 90-degree adapter. So the challenge obviously is when you've got an EATX motherboard like this, typically they'd be expecting it to be like a small loop, right? It comes up and then loops back down to the 24 pin. But they've got these 90-degree adapters, which are supposed to help to bring it back up into a normal orientation. And then you could take this flexible PCB, and it's kind of creased because we've been playing around with this a little bit already to try and figure out how we would use it. It's actually just a solid piece ribbon cable in there that connects the 24 pin. In my particular instance, it would have to be much, much shorter. But if I were to have a custom one of these, which was like half the length, it would look really good. Because as you can see, it's way too tall for mine. So they call these the link cables. So these are an example of the 24 pins. The whole idea of the power board is to remove the clutter of cabling. And if you just move the clutter from the back of the case to the front of the case, then that doesn't do you any good. But yeah, see, it's way too long. And that's part of the problem with the 90. See, if this wasn't a 90 degree, it would just be over here more, and then the loop would look a little more natural, I think. Okay, I almost would rather have something like that, but shorter, I think, than the ribbon cable. Again, new concept here. I think there's some ironing out that needs to be done. We've got 8-pin EPS up here at the top. So again, remember, these are standard length cables. I would absolutely need these to be shorter to be proper with this one. But see, this is the concept or the idea now with the power board, is your cabling is all tidy and short and not having to pass through like grommets and stuff. Because right now, the way this is designed, the only power that would be visible, like any cables that would be visible on the back side, would be SATA if we had SATA devices, and any Molex if we had Molex devices. Now, right now, the only Molex that we have, I already showed you, is the water pump Molex. And that's already routed to where the power supply goes. So that'd be completely hidden. I have no choice, though, if I use this motherboard, to have to use that 90 degree, which means I would, but
Morning, Mary. Good to see you. I guess you don't count as a body because it says, oh, now it says 2. How are you doing today, Mary? Hope everything is well with you. Just watching J2 Cents here build this computer. It looks pretty cool. Hope you don't mind. Just trying to.
that can still get shorter
Do some stuff while some people come in. No doubt about it.
cables. You know what I mean? That'd be fine. Or I'd switch to the motherboard, which I don't really want to do, although I do have a couple other Z690 boards coming, and I can go with my favorite one. Now let me put the black pump cover on there, because that's the other thing that really sort of ties this all together. And this is, by the way, a black RGB pump cover. It will glow RGB. It will glow. free now.
With the coming of Raid's 4th anniversary, we remember the prophecy of the chosen four.
Inside the pump cover right here. So that's pretty neat. See that down there. So imagine that glowing, right? RGB. There is edge lighting up here that will glow down. It'll just glow on the edge of the manifold on this.
No, I haven't seen Sly in my life personally. I think she's been busy doing other things. That's all I can say. Oh, what are you doing? Hmm? What's my baby's doing? He's a good cute cat. Yes, he is. She my old faithful. Yeah. Oh. All right.
Won't run through anything. They added a little bit more volume to the reservoir by having the piece sit on top of the manifold, giving more depth, whereas this one is flush. It's part of the manifold. This cover stands off the manifold, which gives you that much more volume. Okay, so let's talk about some of the manifold features itself. So this is the 24 pin on the power board.
Now, is the counter doing you, or are you doing the counter there, Moose? Inquiring minds need to know. That's some funny shit. I did a funny, haha. Rough. Right on, man. Right the hell on. So it's up to you guys. Since we have 4 people in the chat now, do you guys want to finish watching this video, or do you guys want to break into the breaking news? No, I have no breaking news. Hmm. Hmm. Wow. Well, I guess I'll just finish watching this video then, since nobody answered.
One of them now instead of 3, and the position of it's better. So it's going to be coming back like this, going to your power supply, which makes more sense than trying to plug in that way. That would have been a crazy bend. How those come straight off the power board and have to make a turn. This gives you more length because it can curve back. So that'll go like that, and then this will plug into your motherboard or your power supply, and then EPS and PCI Express will plug in there as well. Now we also have here ARGB headers. Now the manifold / power board itself does have RGB headers or RGB lights. So these little white rectangles, those are LEDs that are placed all around the power board. So you're gonna get some backlighting to your motherboard, even if your motherboard doesn't have backlighting already. But you see right here, ARGB2 out 1, out 2, out 3. So these are outputs. You can plug other RGB devices into this if you want to. Right here, ARGB2 in. So this is the second channel of RGB, and that's the input. So that'll go in, that'll light up the power board and other devices that are plugged into it. You also have these little headers up here, which give you the 3 fans, just like up there. That one's exactly the same. 2 8-pin EPS, fan splitter, as well as ARGB out 1, 2, and 3. Actually, it's out 4, 5, 6, and 7. This is also an ARGB in. And the reason for that is a lot of motherboards have an ARGB header either on the right or on the top, and that gives you a nice short run for that. So you can have custom lighting all over the place with this. Like, I don't know if I can't remember if I said it already. I'm gonna say it again if I have. Daniel and his team are the enthusiasts that enthusiasts aspire to be. So anyway, huge thanks to Singularity for Computer for sending us this. I really like the black. I didn't even know black like this was an option. I've only ever seen the Spectre in the full clear like this. So it's clear where the reservoir is so that you can see the level. It's black everywhere else, which I really, really like. Because if I do have to have any cables back here for any reason, which the only cables I can imagine that you have to have on the back at all, period, would be if you're running like Corsair fans or something like that, where you have to have.
How much is this setup? I'm not sure. Probably thousands of dollars. I don't think it says. Let's see. Yeah, I don't know. I'm not sure how much it costs. It's probably pretty expensive though.
Regular control box. But if you got creative, you could absolutely get it all down here where you can't see it at all. The Spectre case, well thought, a little challenging at times when it comes to mounting certain things without being visible through the clear manifold. But now that I have a solid black one, I feel like I could definitely get creative on, free to mount things where I want, but also creative on how to use this. I also know for a fact that one of the things that I need in my system, now that I've gotten so used to it, is having a sensor panel, which shows me all my temperatures and stuff. But we did a video about how to use a Raspberry Pi screen as a monitor to have always active inside your system showing your temperatures. I almost wonder if there's a way to either integrate it into this panel somehow, or make some sort of a free-floating thing here or something, because there's nothing really goes right here. That's why I'm considering using this for my build, because it brings us some freedom. I just have some challenges with that motherboard because of the 90-degree header on that. That's perfect for cases that have a grommet right there, so the cable can just right through the grommet. But in this instance, that's kind of a hindrance. So like I said, I have some other Z690 boards coming. If those work better than this one, I have no problem switching it at all. Oh, and check out that sexiness right there. They etched Jay's 2 cents and my logo right there.
Oh, that
and where that is should catch RGB lighting, and because it's etched, it should refract light and light up. So I'm not sure if that's something you can pay for them to do, or if Daniel and his team did it as a thank you. But either way, I like stuff that has my logo. That's cool. And here's the thing. It's that, well, it only kind of stinks is on the backside where you can't see it. But I know it's there.
Yeah.
Now you do too. But you know what? If you want a power board and you don't have a Spectre 3 and you don't plan on buying a Spectre 3, Singularity Computers is creating power boards for other popular cases. So what I have right here are 2 power boards. One for the Lee & Lee 011 Dynamic and one for the Corsair 5000 series. So you could get power board cleanliness when it comes to wiring without having to necessarily buy the Spectre. So there you go. I feel like I need to assemble this case. I'm not gonna do that on video because it's gonna look just like this, only this manifold. And I'm gonna have to seriously consider using this for my personal rig that's gonna replace my 10th gen system at home in Win 928. Thanks for watching, guys. As always, we'll see you tomorrow, and make sure you check it out because we are gonna be taking a look at these power boards in third-party cases.
I guess that's enough of that. Anyway, that was kind of cool looking. I don't know what you guys thought of it, but it's nice to dream, you know, I guess. I don't know. That's what they say anyway. I haven't seen her for about a week. As far as I know, she said that she's getting ready to leave the YouTube streets. I don't know though. Oh shit, I'm sorry, I forgot. I'm just a space cookie. What can I say? I am the space cookie of all cookies. No doubt about it. There you go. There's your link. I greatly apologize for my retardedness or my lack of awareness. There we go. That sounds better. You first, Moose. Ah, you guys are funny.
That's cool.
And I know Mark will run away. Carefully. Sometimes Mark will even find yourself something.
Good morning, Larry. I got a bunch of dogs barking outside.
I can't hear them.
Okay, Moose. I beat you here, so now you gotta come up.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure that's you, Moose, but can you show me your face there, bud? Thank you.
Yeah. So my wife just opened up the refrigerator and my baby is sitting on the floor and the yogurt comes flying out of the refrigerator and lands into her arms and she catches it. And as we both go to grab the baby, more stuff comes flying out of the refrigerator and misses her. I was like, wow.
Yo, these camp refrigerators, they're made to move. So how is it that everything falls out as soon as you open the door?
That's what I'm saying. You know, there's a couple things I've been trying to invent, and one of them was going to be a dog bowl that the water doesn't come out of it, you know, for some
Yeah,
reason.
yeah.
And somebody's already done that, you know, because there's always somebody smarter and faster than you, right? So
Sure.
they've already done that. But now what we need to do is create a refrigerator where shit doesn't fall out.
For real, I've been in many campers, and they're all the same with the fridge. You know what I'm saying?
You could have like a fold up and fold down type ledge in front of it.
Like, hey, like one of them shelves. I don't know if you have in your camper, but next to my stove, I have like a pull-out extra shelf. What if we could like pull out like a lip that would hold the stuff?
Well, you could have a lip that goes in front of the stuff, and then when you want, you could just like have it lock in place and then unlock it and fold it out when the door's open.
Right.
And then when you close the door, you lock it back in place.
Yeah, because that drives me nuts. Every person I know who has a camp fridge has the same problem.
Mine
You
don't
know
do
what?
that.
I can't believe it. I can't believe it. The stupid refrigerator. You know what they're doing to poor people or middle class or whatever you want to call us?
The middle class,
They're
they want to be
screwing
poor?
us.
Okay.
They're screwing us.
Yes.
Okay. They get all the nice refrigerators where their shit doesn't fly out everywhere. And what do we get? We open the refrigerator and the jelly comes flying.
I mean, thank God all the lids were on, or you would have a big mess.
Yeah, that's a big thing.
I think you need to sign her up for a baseball team right now, Boost.
Dude, I can't. You know what? That's a good idea. I should sign her up for baseball. With that catch, if I would have been filming it, it would have been something to put on America's Funniest Home Videos, dude.
Yeah, you would have got the money to freaking travel across country. Boom, right there.
Yeah, you would
So
have got paid to move instead of.
That's a $10,000 catch right there.
That's right.
All right, it's time to mosey. Well, then get your stuff together and let's go. We got to mosey on out soon, folks.
Sometimes I
How
wonder
much
about all
longer
these.
you got to travel?
We've got 29 hours, I think. How many
Holy
hours?
shit.
18 hours driving.
So
We got
about
like a
3
week
months.
left.
A week left?
Yeah, we got like a week left.
Damn.
Man, you and your wife are troopers. Troopers.
Dude,
That's a
we
long
are
time.
troopers. We are true, especially when she takes the damn blanket and it's like 27 degrees outside. And she's like, my feet end up hanging outside the blanket. And I can complain all day about campers.
That's called love, Moose.
Imagine living in one, Moose.
Oh, I understand. I don't understand, but I mean, I can kind of relate.
Yeah. 6 years,
At least
man.
yours doesn't move though, right? I mean, it stays in one
No.
spot, right?
Yeah, it stays in one spot.
Yeah. See, so every day you don't have to crank it up and down.
No, I don't know how you do that shit. Oh, I mean, I look at campers like I'd love a pop out, and then I hear what you have to do every day, and I'm like, I'm gonna back off that statement a little bit.
Really? You ready? Oh dang, she's ready. All right, folks, I gotta start cranking.
Hey,
You guys
you
are gonna
have
hear
a
the
blessed
cranking.
safe travel.
Oh, you guys have a blessed travel too, whether it's from the fridge to the bed or to the garden or two steps this way, two steps that way. I hope you guys all have a wonderful, beautiful day.
Thank you, Moose, and give your baby a great big kiss and hug for us.
A beautiful day in the neighborhood. Would you be
Mhm.
my neighbor?
Larry, if you guys didn't need to be near her parents, I'd say come out and visit me. But I'm really off grid out here.
Yeah, it's
Well,
not.
the only problem with coming and visiting you is you'd be stuck with me.
Here's 40 acres. I'll just
There's jobs to do.
yeah. There's hard jobs to do here.
Oh,
I've been
so you're trying to say you'd put me on the back 40, right? So where I couldn't be
yeah.
seen or heard.
It's all back.
Somebody gave me this job to dig 4 holes at 3 foot depths in a perfect square.
I'll give
I
you
can't imagine
$5.
who I can't imagine who that would have been.
So did you watch Moose yesterday, Larry?
I'm not sure when you're talking about. I watched a little bit in the morning.
When it got really heated. It got really heated between me and Tommy and the rest of the panel.
I don't think so. Like I said, I only watched it for a little bit, and then I've been trying to get some shit done around the house and not spend so much time on here.
Yeah, I hear that, Larry. I do hear that. I just want spring to come so I can just shift gears and go into another category, you know?
Yeah, no doubt.
The drama is disgusting, really.
Well, it's like yesterday I started to clean up outside. I redid both the dogs' leashes. I cleaned up a little bit. My 2 electric bikes that I had are both down. She's got a little electric bike. It's pretty small, but I worked on it yesterday thinking that maybe I could use that to deliver on until I could make some money to get me a new bike. I really
Right?
want I really want to try to start making some money here so I can have some reserves, if something comes up, and then also try to plan for our future. You can't do too much without fucking money. So,
Absolutely.
and it's just like it always seems like, I usually have a little bit extra every month, but then it seems like every month something comes up. So I never have anything extra. And the last 3 months have been where I'm lucky if I have 97 cents left in the bank.
So Larry,
Absolutely.
this is actually why I came up today, because you didn't have much going on, and I was thinking, I was like, you got time on your hands, right? Well, I think this is just my opinion. You don't Jack Talcott me and get angry. I think that you should show people something. Show people something you know how to do that other people don't know how to do. Okay? Like whether that's fixing your computer, like videotape you fixing your computer and explain to people what you're doing. Explain what this does, what that does. Um or and maybe schedule like an hour every day. You're here every single day, right? So now you have the time, you have the time, you can be here. So why don't you schedule something, like something intentional, like
Mhm.
this is instead of making it an open panel, make it like, you and Mary, interview Mary for an hour, get somebody else on there, interview Moose for an hour, interview
Mhm.
Austin for an hour. Like if you create You just got to create it, man, and people will donate to you. You just got to get the program going, right? Make it like a instead of BET, it's LET, Larry's Entertainment Television.
Uh-huh.
You know what I'm saying?
No, yeah,
Does
I
that make any
that's
sense?
agree.
that's a really good idea. It's as far as I'm not really sure what I know how to do that not too many other people know how to do. Like the computer doesn't show much good to show me putting the computer together when I can't get it to work.
No, but
Well,
what
Um,
about your electric bikes? Because listen, we're going into an electric period now of electric cars or bikes and all sorts of stuff. And I think you know a lot more than the general person.
yeah, there again, though, it's like
you
like
also know how to
I
show
could
up
show
every day.
people how to work on electric bikes, but the problem is mine aren't working again, so I'd have to buy something to make it work. And the problem
But
with the electric bikes I have now is the motor that they come with isn't really designed for doing what I'm doing with it, and that's I believe why they gave out because the motors that come with those bikes are only 24 volts, and you can up volt motors, but I doubled it, so I made them 48 volts, and the winding in the motors couldn't handle all that amperage and current, so it burned them up.
those are the things that I think this is what Moose is getting at. These are the things I think because you know so much about it. Maybe there's 100 people who have a bike and 25 of them have the same problem and challenge that you do. And if those 25 people get their heads together to start wrapping their heads around it, then that's how the solutions get filtered out that way.
Well, one thing that really got me is my son, he brought that battery to me from some guy at his work that his scooter, something happened with his scooter, and he just, I guess, threw away the scooter and sold the battery really cheap. But he's got an electric bike too that he said he's had in the shop now for like 3 or 4 months, and they can't figure out what the hell's wrong with it. And I'm like, it's not that hard. You take one part off of it, say like the throttle, you put a new throttle on, see if it works. If that don't work, you put the old throttle back on. You do part by part. There's only like 5 or 6 parts, so
Mm-hmm.
I'm not understanding why it's taking them 3 or 4 months to figure out what the hell's wrong with it.
That sounds like a milking job instead of a doing job.
Exactly my point. I mean, and he got a hold of me not too long ago and said that there was some guy that wanted me to look at his bike or something, and I said bring it down. But his deal was, oh, he wasn't going to pay me unless I could fix it, which I thought was kind of a raw deal.
Oh, do they say that to to big places too, to big mechanics? Hey, can you fix this? But I'm not going to give you a dime until you actually fix it. No wonder why it's there for 3 freaking months.
Exactly.
That sounds shitty all the way around. Damn.
Well, that's like that one guy I watch, Pine Hollow Diagnostics. He's become really good at tracing down problems in the network, like with draws and stuff. And these people will take their cars to the dealership, think that the dealership should know everything about their car that they, manufacture or whatever. And 9 times out of 10, it will be in and out of that damn dealership, and they'll go, "Oh, I don't know what the problem is," and usually within an hour or two, he figures out exactly what's wrong with it.
Well, it feeds into what this society is. So this society is becoming
Water bottle, you're roboting. You're you're roboting, Mary.
Is that any better?
That's a lot better.
the problem is
We're in now an addictive society. Like instead of the addicts just being on drug addicts or silent rich shopping addicts or something like that, now the addiction has changed to we want what we want and we want it now and we don't care.
Yeah.
Like I don't know if I've said it here, but I had a Jeep Cherokee in Baton Rouge, Louisiana that just needed a brake line. We had the money to do it, no matter how much it costs. And in a capital city like Baton Rouge, we couldn't find one single person willing to replace the brake line on that Jeep. And it wasn't a broken down vehicle.
Yeah, I heard you say that before, and it just seems kind of funny because I've done a lot of brake jobs. I've done thousands of brake jobs. I used to, when I was in Seattle, I'd put ads in, and say, "Oh well, take your vehicle to Les Schwab. You get an estimate, and usually a Les Schwab estimate on the low end is like $600 on up. So let's say you have a $600 bill. I'll break that bill in half for $300, and I'll make hands over fist money because they'll charge you $100 at Les Schwab for a $50 part. So they're making twice the money on the parts, let alone all their expensive labor. And I do that left and right. I've tried doing that a few times down here, but nobody ever would answer the ads.
Right, right. Well, in the line of thinking you were going, I bought honey last week. I happened to go past the manufacturer, which was open on this particular day. For some reason, every time I go that way, they're not open.
No,
So I
come
was
on
able,
now. Tell the truth. He opened up his shop just for you. Tell the truth.
I mean, he did, but he didn't. He did let me buy something from him, but he wasn't open.
See?
But I asked him, like when you open all that, tried to be a good customer. I walked out of that place spending less than I would have buying a gallon, say, at a farmer's market. So I was
Right.
buying it at a farmer's market because I could use my food stamp card. What I found out was the cost of the gallon was $37 less. So they literally took $37. They charged $37 more to the customers than what it cost them.
Right.
And this is the thing. I think consumers need to be smarter, or at least the ones that are intentional in their life are smarter because
All right, I got a breakthrough, Mary. You just
yeah.
gave me a breakthrough. So, Larry, I've got a really good direction for your channel. At least not the whole channel, but I think you should make a segment on how to live with little means.
Yes.
And this isn't about me talking down to you. This is about me telling you a way that you can talk to many people, a broad variety of people, because there are so many people out there that can't make ends meet. They don't know how to put together a meal for $5. You know, there's a guy, Wolf something. And he does that. He's like, here, I'm gonna show you how to make a meal for a family for $3. See, if you can tap into you got to tap into that market and not the conspiracy market, and not the police auditing market. That's not going to be your. People are going to donate to you because you're you, Larry.
And that you've helped them in a way that no one else can. I absolutely agree with Moose because there's so many times that I'm like, I know this is a simple solution, but I can't wrap my head around it. Or I
And,
know there's an inexpensive solution, right?
and Moose, there's no way in hell you could ever, ever, ever talk down to me because you're only 5 foot something and I'm 6 foot something. So they are neener.
They made ladders for a reason, Larry.
Oh my God, that was funny, you guys.
I can come up with funnies once in a blue moon.
Even that, Larry. So many people are so deep within their own situation that they don't laugh. And then they find the wrong things to laugh about, like at other people's expenses.
Yeah,
That's my fault.
true.
I do that every day.
But we
You
know
know,
you do that.
yeah, yeah. I don't.
But I'm
You
talking
know,
about people. Go ahead, Moose.
I don't hurt people. Like I don't go after people unless they're like either people that go after other people and make them feel bad, or people that try to make themselves seem superior to others. Then I have to take them down a notch.
And I'm so glad we did that yesterday because it took someone down that really needed to be taken down because he's the double whammy bad person. But if we don't do this in the sight of people, or if we don't show others the strength of having to be frugal or figure out the unusual way to get something accomplished, because that's what you're doing, Larry. You're trying to figure out an unusual way to make money. It's not the usual way because everybody has cars and everybody has this, that, and they're not frugal in their life.
Well, like I said before, I really believe I could make some money, doing this delivery thing, and it would be cheap as fuck to do it on an electric bike because it only cost me like 20 cents to charge it up. So
That's amazing.
if it's costing me 20 cents to fill it up, and if I could make, $20 off that 20 cents, that's pretty good profit.
Yes, absolutely. And there are so many people that are so stuck in the challenges they face that they have a hard time thinking out the box. So imagine if they just ran across Larry on a day that, say on a day where you get all the parts to your bike together and you can make a video about, okay, this is what broke before and this is how I'm fixing it. This is how I doubled up my electricity. In that one video, it could change somebody's life.
Yeah.
And
That's
it
what I'm
could
trying to
change.
say.
Yeah.
Sorry, I'm not trying to cut you off, Mary. I'm sorry.
No, you're cool.
Yeah, sure, whatever.
I just get excited. I get so excited because Larry, I'm being honest, man. If you do this, like if you set aside 1 hour a day, like instead of Talcott doing his 28 days of Talcott, let's do 28 days of Larry. Let's get you with an hour or just start with 30 minutes. Do a 30-minute show of whatever you want, and I'll promote it and just make it intentional.
And I agree with Moose in this. When you're doing these things, make it only one or two guests, very, very much on topic. Like I couldn't join you that day because I don't know a lot about electric bikes, but Nubbs could join you.
But then again, you could ask a lot of questions because you don't know about them.
That's
Correct.
true. And the
Correct.
questions are good.
Yes. No, you're absolutely right because I do have that mind that would ask the question that it doesn't dawn on some people until afterwards, But there's other things like I'm sure, Larry, through your life, you've had so many experiences and learned so many things. Humans are autodidactic. I don't know if anyone's ever told you that. Humans are autodidactic, which means we teach ourselves what we need to learn. So all this time growing up, parents are like, I'm teaching my baby. No, actually, your baby's teaching themselves and you're just a part of it. So
Right.
if we go along with the thought process and we look through our lives, we can see different areas where we've actually taught ourselves to do something new, figured out the problems associated with it, and come out the other side. Maybe not 100%, but 95 or even 80. It's better than being stagnant in a problem.
Yeah. Hey, and Moose, talking about filming stuff, a while back you said you had a bunch of those GoPros. You said you think you could find one for me that I could have.
That's a great
Yeah.
idea.
I'll be home in 1 week.
All right. Yeah, that's what I kind of figured as they were at home. I just thought I'd remind you.
That's a great idea. You put that GoPro on. You know, the first couple of times you're gonna iron out the kinks and all that. But as you get used to it, your brain will start remembering all those things like, hey, I could do one about this, or hey, I could do one about that. And before you know it, you're out of the chaos, you're on your own path, you're confident, you're proud, and you're moving forward. And this is what we want to see for Larry.
Yeah, one of my best videos I did was just about the neighborhood that day I walked down the street, and just showed all that mess down there. I got 1,300 views on that one video.
So if you went back and use the same title you did to the other video, and you put update number 2 or something like that, and Larry, you got to use hashtags. My daughter taught me that. If you make a video, let's say about that neighborhood, then you put hashtag neighborhood woes, hashtag open your eyes, hashtag let's pay attention, or something. You see where I'm going with this? You know what I'm saying?
Right. Yeah, no doubt.
Because these
Yeah,
hashtags.
it was a short. I've heard before, if you really want to get popular fast and make your money or whatever the fuck you want to do, the shorts is where it's at. But I mean, yeah, making money would be nice and be cool, but that's not really what I'm about. To me, this is what we're doing right now is more valuable for me right at this time than it would be the money. Yeah, the money would be nice and it would help a lot of things, but you know what I'm saying.
Yeah, that's why I'm saying you do the show in the morning for your heart, and you do the show in the afternoon for your pocket. Or even if you don't even do it with the intention of like making money, Larry, just do it with
Right.
intention and do it like in short segments, because you can't have these 7 hour things going, because nobody's going to go look
Right.
through these 7 hours for the gold nuggets.
No, yeah, I
Absolutely.
know. I realized that a long time ago.
And you know what, Larry? I just want to point this out. When it's a relaxed general atmosphere with your regulars, um, we have fun without making fun of others.
Right.
And that's what I think the key is. This making fun of picking apart other human beings, I think is really a devil's fucking tactic.
Yeah.
I think being personally inspired within your own self, that's a spiritual tactic. You know what I'm saying?
Well, that's like, I've watched quite a few streams where all they do all day long is pick apart people's videos and stuff like that. And I'm like, and they have huge numbers. And I'm like, it's easy to pick people's shit apart, to
Hmm.
find something wrong with somebody, they said the wrong word or they showed the wrong clip or they showed the wrong picture or whatever. And to me, that's just, it doesn't make any sense because you're feeding off that negativity and that
Hmm.
negativity surrounding you. And I just don't understand how that can be beneficial for anybody. And Chuck, yes, we do see you in the chat, and I apologize for not acknowledging your presence.
Sorry, Chuck. I'm not reading chat. Much love, man. I really appreciate your efforts on trying to bring
It's a
things
wheel.
back away from that nonsense.
Chuck, we appreciate you, Chuck. So my wife wanted to make it clear that she is the one who came up with the idea of the golden nugget. She told me when I was doing that 24-hour stream a couple months ago, she said, hey, whoa, quiet down, dog. I'm talking. She said, people aren't going to sit there and listen to all that BS
Hmm.
and so that's why I'm saying, even if you break it up, all your shows, like break them up into like hour segments, 2 hour segments, whatever, as long as you don't have them in such a big time that people aren't going to watch them, I think it'll do you good. And the more that you're consistent, and you got to have a thumbnail too. You got to have a thumbnail, because people don't click on videos of like people just
Without
talking.
thumbnails. Yep.
Yeah, it's like a psychological thing that they came out with, and you got to have a
It's
description for your videos.
It's like walking past a food court and you see some of the places have 2 or 3 people in line, and you see some places have like 5 to 10 in line. Automatically, as a human, even if it's not true, your brain thinks, huh, there must be something about this place with 5 or 10 people in line. I'm going to go there. Even if the food is bad, they somehow just, okay, that's where the people are. That's where I'm going to go.
Exactly. And my wife just said she's given just like dropping knowledge bombs over here. She's got a master's degree in whooping ass. So she says that what was it about taxidermy? Oh, you need to have a topic. So if it says Larry's doing taxidermy today, make it clear Larry's doing taxidermy. Or if Larry's talking about cooking the best ribs that you can possibly cook. That way people have an idea of what the hell's going on. Because there's the floaters, the regulars, and then you've got all of us. You got to get everybody else now.
Here
Holy
she
moly,
is.
is that a
Everybody was
ghost?
wondering about Sly.
Holy
Here
shit,
she is.
there's
Welcome back,
Sly.
Sly.
Where
Good
the
to
hell
see
you
you. We
been,
love you,
Oh,
Sly?
girl.
Sly,
Talking
we
at
thought you
once
got
because you've been
screened out
gone.
there. Got you got hit on the streets.
And the crowd goes wild.
Yo, you can't be here every day and then do it disappearing. Like, where you been? You been busy
Wait,
working that life?
Mary, you know I don't answer questions, right?
Hey, Sly, I'm so glad to see you've been working your life.
Good morning, Nudie. Yeah, that's what we're gonna stick to. That's our story, and we sticking to it. My life, working on my life every day. Yes, I am. Listen, if I don't stay focused on me, nobody will. No, but
Word.
y'all know that, like, if my thing is, I ain't gotta be everywhere all the time. You know what I mean? I've been in chats and a little bit and stuff like that, but sometimes I just gotta stay away. I do.
Word.
Well, like I said a little while ago, I've been trying to stay up here more than I was and, getting productive, doing shit around the house, doing shit that I've been putting off. And,
Yeah.
we all can get wrapped up in this shit pretty easy and revolve around this. And
I did the whole winter.
too much of anything's not a good thing. You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
Yeah, I did the whole winter. I did, we sat in here together for the whole winter, damn near. You know what I mean? But that's a
Yeah.
natural thing when it's cold. You know what I mean? You don't want to be out in the street and you ain't
Right. Yeah, no, you're absolutely right. It's just that what we thought it was going to be, it was something way different.
What you
There was
talking
more.
about? Being in these YouTube streets?
I mean, I've never seen so much drama in my life, and I was kind of raised on soap operas. Like,
No,
Yeah,
Mary,
dude, not even Days of Our Lives has as many comebacks as me. Shit.
wait,
I've
the
been cut
Moose,
off
I
the
watched
show
the
like
little
10
ass
times and I
yesterday.
keep coming back.
Moose,
say that
I
again,
watched.
Sly.
I'm sorry, I watched Moose yesterday. Moose, you know what? You're kind of funny, but you're kind of funny. That's all I'm gonna say about you, Moose. You funny, you're kind of funny, but you're kind of funny.
Intentional. It was
I
all
know,
intentional.
I heard you. I heard you. I
And I'm
understand.
so appreciative of that intent. And I think that's what goes on. Okay, I don't mean to interrupt you, Sly, but I just want to make this point. With all the drama going on, the one thing that has not been clear, and it doesn't matter whose channel it's on, the intent has not been clear. It's so muddled that you sit there as a specter saying, the hell am I watching? And what is their point? You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? Not that these places aren't necessary, because what happened yesterday, boom. I'm so glad that happened, because people need to see certain people in certain lights. But all
What
the
happened?
time.
What happened? I don't be in all of them, Mary. I don't.
I'm not going to repeat it until the situation's over, but I will tell you after the situation's over. But if we don't open our eyes and take opportunity when opportunity knocks, then we're going to find ourselves in these really diluted, chaotic places of cacophony. The definition of cacophony is a loud negative sound.
Yep.
So
Well, listen, Mary, can I interrupt you for a second, please?
sure.
I'm sorry, but I keep saying this. Can't nobody make you be anything other than you don't want to be, right? You have to be responsible enough to remove yourself or you want to be a part of it. If you want
Oh
to be a part of it, that's the energy you're going to be a part of, right? But
no,
if
I
you think for
100%
yourself,
agree.
yeah,
Yeah.
if you don't think for yourself and know how you can't, yeah, you can't, I mean, you can get sucked up in it, but you still got to think for yourself and say, hey, this kind of energy is not what I need in my life, right?
Yeah, I
It's
was
on
about to
you
say
to
that.
do.
Yeah, choices. So
Yeah.
if you look at the title that says crocheting 101, let's make a hat, and they never talk about crocheting, they never show you the hat, and you
Yeah.
stay there, then you're an
Right.
idiot, right?
Yes. Exactly. Exactly.
That's all I'm saying. But
Yeah.
some of
Yeah.
the people, some of the fake crocheters should be outed. But
Mm-hmm.
because of the chaos within the within this type of genre,
Mm-hmm.
no truth comes out. And how oxymoron is that if this is the truth community and it's so chaotic and there's so much cacophony that no truth comes out?
But
How
it's
I
still
could.
but it's still our responsibility as individuals, right, to be responsible, right? We can't, I mean, what they do is what they do. As long as you don't participate and be a part of it, like me, you don't see me participating in a lot of that crap, right? You
Hmm.
only see me participate when I got something to say.
Hmm.
You understand where I'm coming from? Like
Hmm.
if I'm in the chat joking around, I can joke around all day about Talcott. You know what I mean? Because he
Yeah.
gives me jokes. You
Shit, he
understand
gives
what I'm
you enough
saying?
fucking information to joke about all day, every day.
Exactly. So, same with O'Shea. O'Shea gives me fucking jokes. I can joke about O'Shea all day long. You know what I
But
mean?
we know
Sometimes,
what we're getting into, and what people need to realize that, okay, say you're getting into it for the right reason. That's
mm-hmm,
cool. But
mm-hmm,
when you figure out you're not getting what you need, you have
mm-hmm.
to go. Like, that's a personal responsibility that you
Paul,
can't bitch about, right?
Paul did it yesterday. That's exactly what Paul was showing yesterday. He said, if you know Talcott is insane, why keep giving him that energy?
Yeah.
Start giving him a different energy and maybe it'll help him change. And I
What
I
kind of
saw
had,
that
energy do
yeah,
you
yeah.
think? I mean, we've
I,
given them almost anything other than
I,
pills.
I know. I know, Moose. I know.
The
Welcome to
problem
the
is,
panel, Chuck. Good to see
Hi,
you up on
Chuck.
the panel,
hi,
Chuck.
Chuck. Hey, Chuck,
Well,
why don't you say hi to everybody and give us a nugget of knowledge?
Hey, Chuck.
morning, morning, morning,
Chuck,
morning.
it's too early for Chuck to give up knowledge yet.
Which, which show was you talking about yesterday, Mary?
Look, he only came up here to be newsy, Mary.
I was
Yeah.
on Moose's channel yesterday, late
Oh,
morning.
you talking about the Tommy?
Yep.
Look,
Your
he thought
audio's
he was
kind of
gonna get
messed
some
up,
new
Chuck.
tea. Mary,
Okay.
Mary,
What's that?
Chuck thought he was gonna get some new tea, yo. Chuck said, "Oh, she got me curious now. And I'm going up to find out what the hell she's talking about. Some new dirt in these YouTube
Yeah,
streets. Tell me, Mary."
It's
he needs
not
to take
new
a look.
dirt. It's not new dirt.
He
I
needs to
picked up.
rewind the tapes thing.
Yeah. Listen, Sly. I
Mm-hmm.
picked up breadcrumbs put out there, not by me.
Mm-hmm.
If other people didn't pick them up, that's not on me. I picked them up. I made a shit sandwich out of the breadcrumbs, and I fed it back to him. That's exactly what I did.
Okay. That's hey, sometimes we gotta
She
do
did
that. I
great.
mean, you guys, listen, you guys can do that, right? With no problem. I had a discussion with Aaron yesterday. One of those another thing where we gotta stop this. We gotta do something about this. We can't have our kids learning this. We can't have our kids learning that. And I still say you're responsible for your child. You're responsible to teach your child right from wrong. If your child make decisions, it ain't because nobody taught it to them.
Hmm.
You know what I mean?
Mhm. Mhm.
You can't say that when I, they tried to say because I was messed with by grown men when I was a child, that taught me to be gay. That's not
Oh,
true.
that
That's
is
not
not fucking true.
that's not true. I learned I felt that I in my spirit that I liked females. You know what I mean? It ain't
Right.
nobody teach me that shit. Just because my
And
mother.
slide. I only want to put an asterisk. I want you to continue. Okay. I just want to put an
Mhm,
asterisk.
mhm,
Victims choose how they deal with it. They don't choose their sexuality. And if they do through their trauma, they have no problem telling you. I've talked to a lot of survivors in my life, and
mhm,
survivors are very proud of the avenue they go. And if they
mhm.
choose not to be touched by a man because of men, they'll tell you with their mouth. Like they're
And I
they're
have,
they're set in their truth, right, Sly?
yep, I have. And Mary, I have done it. I've had to go to therapy and all of that and say that. You know what I mean? But
Yep.
now, right? Now I don't accept labels. Don't label me.
Mhm.
Don't
Right.
label me nothing.
Yep.
Gay with whatever. Don't
Yep.
label me. Don't label me black. I am a human being. What I
Yep.
do
Hey,
and
I'm
how I
like the little donkey on Shrek, though.
what you yeah, yeah, shit. I might be Shrek. The fuck? You could be my donkey moose. I don't care.
See, this is how the laughter and the fun should come. This is organic comedy, whereas the other stuff is made up at the expense of others. You know what I'm saying? And I don't dig that. Like, own who you are. If you're a comic, own who you are. But a
Yeah,
Holy
real
shit.
but Mary, we don't allow. Listen, we don't allow what other people do interfere with what we do and how we think and how we conduct ourselves and how we act. Right? We can't change them because they gonna do it. That's what they do. You know what I mean? So I stopped getting all worked up about oh they doing I defend Paul because I know how they coming at him. They coming at him trying to put him in all kinds of label. They trying to label him, right? And
no, you're right. Yeah.
that's what I defend. I don't label him. He's a human being. He's a man. He has his own thoughts, his own reality, and he goes on that. And if take it personal or whatever, then that's you. That's not, you know what I mean? That's not his fault, right? Just like with me. If I don't agree with him, I don't agree with him. I don't gotta, I ain't gonna go back and forth with him. That's his
Yeah, but
word. That's his, you know.
he does
Still,
come hard at me, though.
disparaging another for comedy, it is my choice not to accept that. It is my choice not to engage in that. I don't care to disparage people for comedy.
Right. And that's what I'm talking about. See, you wouldn't do it, right? So that's what
Mhm.
I'm saying. So why complain about him doing it, right? Just don't support it.
You're
That's
absolutely right. Actually, the only reason why I know, Paul, is because other people were talking and I had to investigate.
right,
And
right.
I
I'm
came
saying, yeah,
up
but I'm
with,
saying like after all of these months by now though, you still do have a choice to support him or not support him, right?
you're
No matter what
absolutely
he
right.
does.
You're absolutely right. And that's it. That's it
Yeah.
right there. It's
Uh-huh.
choices.
He's
And
an absolute genius. He's got everybody talking about him every single day in every single channel you
Everybody's
go.
benefiting from them. Yes, every freaking body is benefiting from them. So how are you trying to come at them like a Provo kid? Like how are you keep trying to come at somebody that has
I
his
could
own
tell you
thing?
why. Because if it worked for Paul, it's going to work for the rest of them, and they're all going to try it on. And the same
Mm-hmm.
jacket isn't meant for freaking everybody. I am a stand up person, and when I have to, I will stand up and I will speak as loud as I have to. And it offends people. Don't get offended because
Thank
you
you.
don't have the right to tell me how to do it. You can get offended if you paid me to behave a certain way and I didn't do it, then you can get offended.
And that's what he's saying. He's saying, he knows what he does. He pays attention exactly everything he does, right? You know what I
Mhm.
mean? But that's what he get paid. The people like it. People donate to him just for him to do what he do.
It's
So you can't
just
be
that
mad at.
creeks crawl out of the cracks in situations like this
Mm-hmm.
because they can ride under the radar of someone's behavior they perceive to be bad. And this
Mm-hmm.
is where I do find that not that we're responsible, but we are engaging in something and not paying attention to the negative aspect of it. So let's see. Okay, so one
I'm sorry.
year our water went out. We had a bad well I was telling you guys about. So I was bringing water in. Hold on a second. I was bringing
I
water
hear
in,
you. Got a
having to
story.
put it in bins, just washing all my dishes in bins. And in the moment, I thought, wow, I'm showing my kids how to be a strong mom, how to keep on going, how to, do what you got to do, even if you're doing dishes and bins. And I failed to open my mind to see how it could be perceived negatively. Well, how it could be perceived negatively is this is some bullshit life. I don't want to live this life. Now I'm going to, as a child, now I'm going to race in the other direction because I don't want to live that frugal life. That frugal life has her doing dishes on the floor in a bin, and I don't want to do it. So I tell you all that to say, if we don't, if we are in charge of something, and then we don't acknowledge, keep our eyes open to all the ramifications, good and bad, that could come, then we are in part responsible for part of it.
Only if we engage.
But if the negativity I inspired in my children was part of something I was doing and I did not acknowledge it, that's my fault.
Yeah, but that's in your household, though, Mary.
We're talking about households. We're talking about
Oh,
channels where someone is the host.
yeah, but that's their channel in their house.
But we can't live on both sides of that coin. You're
Then we
either
don't. That's the bottom line. We don't. Like you choose, if you choose to be there and listen to the chaos and all of
you're
that,
part of
then
that choice. And then the person who
exactly.
puts the negativity out there is the other part of that choice. That's only what I'm trying to say. It takes
Yeah,
more
but
than one person to make that choice, which in this
Well,
case would be the host. And
there's
then
always
no, but that's his
go ahead,
channel.
Larry.
That's this is
Larry's trying to
Larry's
talk.
channel. Yeah, this is
Larry,
Larry's channel. That's his channel.
what's
what
that?
I was going to say is there's always just two sides of the coin.
That's what I'm
Right.
saying. That's
Yeah,
all that I'm saying.
right.
Okay, I understand that, right? There's always
Hmm.
two sides of the coin. Can you
That's
pick
what
a side of the coin?
I did. That's what the whole
Right.
story was about. Is I did
Okay.
without
So,
acknowledging the other
so
side was a choice.
yeah, but so how can we? So we pick a side of the coin and we hold our self responsible. We can't
Hmm.
worry about what they're doing, and because they got to hold themselves responsible. They got to answer to a spirit. They don't have to answer to us, right? That's just their channel. That's just their broadcast, right? They don't owe us anything. I don't owe them anything. I support them if I want to, and then I don't. Like they don't. They wonder why I don't come up on their panel no more. You know what I mean? Because I don't want to
Hmm.
be a part of that. That's my choice, right? But if I go up on other panels, you don't see me sitting up on panels a lot, right? Unless I'm here with y'all.
Right.
You know what I mean? I go in, I might say my piece, and then people start disrespecting me and treating me any kind of way, and then I'll be out. You know what I mean? I had to
Right.
tell Ian, he put me on timeout. I had to go up and tell him, I'm not a child. If you don't want my support, you don't want me here, just tell me. Don't put me on
I mean, I
timeout
agree
like some
with you. I just make myself very, very aware of how my behavior can affect others. And maybe other people don't. And maybe you're right. This ain't for everybody. But
child.
I am very in tune with how I behave. And there's sometimes I regret my behavior. And I have to
Mhm.
sit there and think, but is it a regret that I have to apologize for? You know what I'm saying? I'm very in
But
tune.
you
And I
don't have
just
to
think as
apologize to
humans,
yourself.
wait, Sly, let me just finish my sentence because it's
Mhm,
really short. I
mhm.
just think as humans, we should be holding ourselves accountable before our behavior gets so large that other people try.
Right. Exactly. Exactly. But their job, what they think their job is to hold you accountable because you're in
Oh
their
well, I
house.
don't agree with them either. I
Right.
don't
Yeah,
agree
right.
with
Me
someone.
neither. Me neither. That's why I don't answer questions, right? Because see, I don't owe anybody anything on YouTube. I don't owe anybody any explanations, right? Because I know how to conduct myself. I know how I walk. I know how I
Hmm.
talk, right? And I know that everything I say out my mouth is true, right? I don't have to lie to nobody. You
Yep.
know what I mean?
Right.
You know,
Right.
anything that I get now, I earned it. I
Yes.
You understand where I'm coming from?
Yes.
Anything that I get now, I'm 60 years old. I earned it. I
Hmm.
put into it, right? So it's
Hmm.
mine,
Hmm.
right? And what I do with it is my business. If I sat here
Amen.
2 years and just watched YouTube, that's my fucking business,
Yep.
right? It's nobody else's business. You can't judge me, right? You got to hold your own self responsible. Until I come on here on the internet and say, "Hey, y'all, my electric's off. I'm about to get kicked out. I can't pay my bills. If
Jack,
I
is
come
that
on
you?
here crying and all of that kind of stuff, then that's giving you content. And you can say, yeah, that's Sly Shy. She was up here faking all this time. The bitch is broke. She been sitting on YouTube. You know what I
Hmm.
mean? That'll give
Yeah.
you
Yeah.
something to talk about. But people
Hmm.
don't have nothing to talk about me when I've been in these YouTube streets for 3 years
Hmm.
and they can't find nothing to talk about bad about me. They make up shit.
That's why
Cause they
they disparaged how we look and how we walk and how we talk, because that's all they have to use.
mm-hmm.
That's
Well,
why I mean, I don't sub.
That's to keep
I
the
don't
focus off of them, Mary.
exactly. I'm so glad you said it. That's exactly that. It's the whole distraction game on a personal level. Don't pay attention what I'm doing with my hands. Pay attention to what I'm saying with my mouth.
And then it's still your choice, right? To hear it or not hear it. Cause
you're
Challenge
always
it or
other
not
people,
challenge it, right?
right?
you're
Well,
always going to meet
it,
you're always going to meet positive people in your life, and you're always going to meet negative people in your life, and it's for us to decide if that person is too negative for us in our lives and is going to
Yes.
take away from our lives.
how can we benefit? That's what you're saying. How can
Right,
we
Well, I
right.
taught
benefit
my
from that?
kids it either takes away from your life or it adds to your life. Like I made it so simple so that my kids could understand that.
There you go. That's right. If you can benefit from it, right? See, I benefit from listening to Paul. I benefit because I watch all the different behaviors.
Mm.
You understand what I'm saying?
Hmm.
I listen to Paul and what he speaks when he's speaking his truth. I listen
Mm.
to him because he drops fucking bombs. And I don't care if they say I got his dick in my mouth. That boy drops bombs when he starts speaking, right? But other
Hmm.
people get into his character. I don't get in when I get into his character, I'm having fun. I'm telling jokes in the chat. I'm joking, I'm busting on Talcott. You
Right,
know what I
right,
mean? But I'm not even being disrespectful to Talcott. I ain't
right.
saying nothing disrespectful. I ain't talking about how much money he get, his house, and none of that. I just be cracking my own jokes. You see me in the chat, right? You
Hmm.
see,
Yeah, yeah,
I'm
I see
fucking,
you. Yeah,
you know what I mean? And then when
yeah.
people start getting ignorant for no reason, you see me too. I put them right in their place. Don't do that with me. I don't play those kind of games,
You know what I
right?
think it is like
Mhm.
I don't know if you were hearing earlier. We're giving Larry ideas to help establish his own platform, created on his own ideas. And when people get pushed off, and maybe it's good for Larry to see this ahead of time. When when the platform creator is allows others to push them off their own platform due to whatever reasons, incessant questions, incessant attacking, maybe incessant bots, for whatever reason, that platform creator gets pushed off or very near the edge of their own platform, and it becomes chaos and it stops being what was original in the platform creator's mind. So for me, It's about homesteading. So if I took a left and just started making all these lives and just started fighting with all these people who didn't agree with me, I would be the asshole because I allow myself pushed off my own platform and then engaged in negative bullshit.
Okay, then I don't support you. I mean, it's that simple.
But I'm also saying, listen, it's not just the audience. There seems to be lack of responsibility in the platform creators. I understand they're having a tough time. They've been pushed out of their comfortable mark.
Yeah,
But
but who's responsible for that though, Mary?
they
They
are.
right. So we
That's my
can't.
point.
Yeah, but
That's
I'm saying like I don't waste my time on whining about what they do.
no,
That's what
I
I'm
don't
trying.
even care. I
Yeah,
really
that's what
just
I'm trying to
don't
say.
have a care one way or the other.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
as a
That
part
because
of this conversation is the only reason why I'm saying what I'm saying. It's just
yeah,
like if
yeah.
we
I
were talking
understand
about
that.
books,
Yeah, I
say the
understand that.
author was at fault.
Right. But just like with Larry, what you were saying about Larry, all Larry got to do is like Moose was saying, create your get your
Hmm.
thumbnail, like
Yeah.
make it interesting that people want to come and see what you're doing,
Hmm.
right?
Because
When you
Larry is
open up in the
interesting.
morning,
He doesn't need to
change.
put fake shit out there, right, Sly?
Wait a minute, let me finish.
Okay.
Instead of having your same picture up there every morning, right? Change up, get a new picture every day. Put something to make people want to come, right? Even though when you got people watching you, you
Mhm.
already see the stats, right? Just people not giving you a lot of thumbs up.
Right.
But as
Or a lot of
long as you stay
conversation.
true, yeah, but as long as you stay true to you, Larry, and,
Yes.
and enjoy doing what you do, right?
Yes.
God gonna bless you. Fuck other people. If they
Yo,
don't
that's what I'm
appreciate
saying.
if they don't appreciate you for what you doing, oh man, I love you. Stop. Give me a hug. Yo, they told me, hey Larry, they told me somebody stupid talking about, oh, Sly and Sis drunk Matic. Cause I gotta this is what you get when you start talking shit about me. Sly, a hug though, a hug. Cause I wanted to give Talcott a hug the other day, right? Because he was just so fucking frustrated. Every time somebody talked to him, he gets
Yeah,
so angry
I
and so
saw that.
combative. So I
Hmm.
said, well, let me give you a hug. Somebody gonna come up to my mouth. Well, Sly, I love you, but a hug though, a
I
virtual hug.
saw that. Yeah. Uh-huh.
That's how I met Larry. I gave Larry a virtual hug day one. The fuck
Hmm.
out of here, man. Ain't nothing wrong with giving love on the internet to people
Hmm.
that might need it. That's helping somebody. That's
Yeah.
showing somebody you fucking care about them,
Right,
right?
right, right.
And how to tell you, oh, you don't do shit for me, or you didn't do shit for
Mm.
me. Bitch, I gave you an opportunity of taking up my mind, my space, and my talking to you.
For
That was
real.
doing something for you,
Yeah.
showing that I was concerned because I didn't let you come in my DMs and fill my head with all your bullshit. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Then you're gonna get
Mm.
mad at, oh, Sly, I've never, not one time disrespected none of them. None
Hmm.
of even my boy Moose, he said, what I did to him was disrespectful, but wouldn't nobody else know what I did to him, right? Because that was in private. So if I fuck with you in private, that's between me and you, right? But when I'm on these YouTube streets, I give respect and I expect to be respected because I give respect. And if I came up here, oh fuck you, you hug a buddy, fuck a buddy. If I acted like that, y'all would give me that bitch crazy, right?
Yep. No doubt.
But because I know how to conduct myself, Anna, I mean, now I'm getting everybody name wrong. Mary, because I know, because I love you ladies, but because I know how to conduct myself, people don't like me. They don't
Yo, I've
like
had
me.
the same reaction, Sly. I've actually had the same reaction. Like,
How you gonna go in the
not
chat?
talking about the subject yesterday, but a few people disagreed with what I had to say.
Yeah, but
And
how you gonna
they
go in the
started
chat?
off,
Yeah,
huh?
wait. How you gonna go in the chat though and be friendly and speak to people, and they can't even do a simple thing back of just speaking? That is sad, right?
Yes, that's a
If,
state of
especially
our
if somebody
goddamn
coming in
society.
friendly, especially if somebody coming in friendly.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, greetings, everyone. Greetings. You know, you pray. I'm coming in friendly. I ain't coming
Mm-hmm.
in sex spotting. I ain't coming in talking shit about nobody. I'm coming in friendly. And these motherfuckers don't even know how to say hi, right?
Mm-hmm.
Then you got people being all shady. You know, Jason C. I don't know what the fuck happened there, Larry. Right?
He contacted me yesterday. He's getting ready to get out of there. He's concentrating on getting rid of his shit and
Uh,
stuff, is what he told
hey,
me.
Oh
Larry,
hell yeah!
Larry,
Many blessings, Jason. I hope your
Larry.
life gives you a new
Wait a minute.
chance.
Wait a minute.
No.
Larry, did we not all get up here and was talking and with Jason and reaching out to Jason and all of that kind of stuff?
Yeah.
He just cut me off for no reason.
Yeah, he had me too until just yesterday.
Okay, so yeah, but he be in chats and I be speaking to him and he don't speak back, right?
Yeah, I don't
So
I
don't
don't I
so
don't
I'm
know
not gonna
nothing.
praise. So I'm telling you, and I told you before, I said this live before, right?
Right.
So I'm not going to praise that he getting himself together because, like I said, all I was doing was speaking to him, checking on him, making sure he was okay. I wasn't asking him for nothing. I wasn't trying to get nothing from him,
No, I
right?
know that.
I
Yeah.
was just trying to reach out to him and let him know he got a friend and somebody he can talk to.
Right.
I don't need you. Look, do you see me coming in bothering you all the time?
If anything, it's the other way around.
You don't bother me, Larry. I love when you not need me. I love when you open up yourself to me.
I
That's
know.
appreciated.
I'm just playing.
I know you are, but that's appreciated though. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? But when people
Yeah.
just like stop speaking to you in the chat and stuff like that for no reason, for just no
Yeah, it's
reason.
not. It's definitely not right if you see somebody in chat and they say hi to you. If you had some kind of relationship before, you need to say hi back, or at least tell me to fuck off. You know,
Yeah.
one or
Because
the other. Either say hi or tell me to leave you the fuck alone. Then at least I know where I stand.
yeah, and that's what I was saying to Ian, right? Don't time me out like I'm some fucking kid. Just tell me you don't want my support here. I can leave. He had somebody here, one of his minds, telling me I don't belong here. Who the fuck are you? I'm sorry. I'm running my mouth. Y'all, I needed to tell y'all what was wrong with me yesterday. Can I tell y'all?
Yeah.
Sure.
All right. So what happened was I had a really good day until I got on my way home. I checked my phone and I got a new phone, Larry.
Oh,
All
I've
right, wait.
seen that.
So I checked my phone and I got a text saying, "Hey, is your water off? My water is off." And I'm like, "Yo, what the fuck?" She's I come in the house, the water's off, right? I said, "Damn it." So I calls the landlord. He says, "Oh, I'll call you back." He sends me a picture of the bill paid. He kept saying he just wanted to save face. He kept saying the bill is paid. The bill is paid. Don't think the water bill is not paid. So I was like, all right, no problem. But I still stayed on the water company and made sure they got out here first thing this morning. Came and they turned it on. But
What was wrong?
they
Morning,
all right.
Linda.
Good
Morning,
morning.
Mary. Morning, Ian. Morning, Clyde. Morning, everybody in the chat.
Good morning. Good morning, Miss Wolf. So what happened was they building stuff down the street, right? Mary apartment buildings and stuff down on a two-story residential block. They dug up the street. So when they dug up the street, they probably had to turn the water off, right? Every on this end, everybody's water off, right? But they didn't put out notices.
Uh,
But yesterday morning, my water was on. Or do you think I just might have emptied the tank?
Yeah, you might have emptied the tank, or they might have hit a line. My husband did underground electric line laying, and they would dig up the street to lay an electric line and accidentally hit the water pipe.
Oh, they hit when they built the other building on this side. They hit the
Mm.
electric line. Half the block was out.
Oh my God.
That was 3 years ago. But this time, so what happened was they either they turned everybody off and forgot to turn mine back on, right?
Yeah.
And or they said that if we didn't get the new box, the new water meter, whatever, if we
Oh, the
didn't get
smart
the new
meter.
one, that they was going to turn it off again and lock it.
What?
Yeah,
That's some
so
fucking bullshit.
but then they was like, well, tell your landlord. I was like, hold up. I don't have a contract with the water department. So why do I have
Exactly.
to get involved?
Yeah.
The person that pays the water bill, you should be sending all information to that company.
Yep.
You shouldn't be sending the water bills to here. We don't have no water bill. The fuck are you sending the bill here for? Right? You
Wow.
shouldn't send no information here. Even if there's a new meter needed, you send it to the landlord, the property
Mm-hmm.
manager, the company, for them
Mm-hmm.
to make sure that they can get in the building safely and put in the
Yep.
thing. Right?
Yep. Yep.
I really believe, because I've been hanging out on these streets, but I believe I did last year let somebody in to put a meter in the basement for the water. I think I did. So
So there
they just
shouldn't have been a problem.
they don't pay attention, Mary. They
They
don't
want
pay
to cause
attention.
a problem where
Everybody's
there isn't
rushing.
a problem.
Let me tell you what these dumbasses did, Mary. So
Oh
they had
no.
to
Oh
dig up the
no.
street. They had to drill up the street and the sidewalk and everything. So instead of finding something big enough to block the car, to keep the car from getting hit from the pellets and the ground and stuff, right?
Right.
These two damn dumbass white guys, sorry y'all, but these two dumbass white human, because they was lighter than me. These light human beings was standing side by side like this, blocking the car.
What?
Me, the little black lady, I had this big ass piece of plywood on my porch. I said, guys, would you like to use this to block the car, to keep the car from getting hit? They looked, they was like, no. Then they turned to each other and they was like, oh yeah, we'll take it. Yeah, you dumb, yeah, take it. You gonna stand there and get hit with all the bricks and stuff on your back and your
Oh my
legs.
God.
You know what I mean? You dumb fucks.
Oh my
Dumbass.
God.
In my wizard voice, dumbass. I tell you.
So
That's
you see,
hysterical.
the whole thing is, Slides, you ruined their gig. They just wanted to stand there and do nothing all day.
Yeah, but then I'd had to record that dumbass shit, Mary.
You should, you should have been recording them using their bodies as a board.
I could have, but see, I was only because I live here, right? I can't have no trouble.
Yeah.
I
No,
can't,
I hear
yeah,
you.
I don't want no problems. I live here, so
I
I'm
know. I hear you loud and clear.
upside my head in the middle of the night. You know how they do.
I do. I do know how they do. Yeah.
Listen. So anyway, but they did take the wood and they did put it back. They did appreciate me. So then when I was walking by them while they was working and stuff, right? I would speak to them, say, how y'all doing? And they all would nod their head. I said, wait a minute. None of y'all can speak.
That is speaking. That's East Coast slang with "I acknowledge you." Now I'm moving on.
Yeah, fuck out of here. Don't acknowledge me. Talk to me. Fuck out of here. Now,
Yo, try living in New York where nobody's got time to say hi to you.
that's a shame.
I
That's why
hated that shit about New York.
That's why Eli is out in them streets, right? Teaching people to be kind, be nice to people, stop being so mean.
It's the old hurry up and get nowhere fast.
That's
To
how
the point where
Philadelphia
they raised their kids. To the point where they raised their kids to walk with their elbows out to maintain their space on the sidewalk.
Yeah.
What
Well,
the
you have
hell?
to because you got a lot of pickpocket in it, and they used to. Well, that was what the mainstream media was saying. The
This wasn't
mainstream
even
media,
about pickpockets. They literally said to maintain your space on the sidewalk.
yeah, but I'm just saying. But the mainstream media told us that you have to maintain your space because people be going in your pockets and your pocketbooks and stuff like that. That's what they was telling us. Be
Wow.
careful. You got pickpocket. When you on the train, pay attention. Don't let people stand close to you because they'll be up against your back, going in your pocketbook.
Yep, heard that.
You're right. See, that's the kind of fears.
Actually, I can't get out of the habit and behavior of how I carry my purse because of how I grew up in New York. You know what I'm saying?
You was taught, right?
I visually, I wasn't taught by my parents, but just
Oh,
hearing
but
other
yeah,
people's
okay, yeah. How they
experiences
conduct
and stuff.
themselves. Yeah, yeah.
What did you want to say hi? Did you want to say? Okay, hold on. He wants to say hi to my friend. Wait,
Hey,
hold on, wait,
handsome.
don't be shy. So you
Come
came
on,
all the way up
handsome. Give
here.
me my wave.
What's my son? There we go. Hi.
Come on,
Hi.
handsome. Give
There
me
he
my
is.
wave. Hi. What's up, handsome? How you doing today? You
He
good?
wants to go outside. He wants to go outside.
Oh,
Sorry.
it's
Oh, yeah, look at that sun. Let me out, Mom.
wait. Hold up. Mary, come
Yeah.
back. I gotta ask Smokebox something.
Smoke box.
What the hell? Where did that come from? Where did Smokebox? Larry told me your name was Smokebox because I called the
Now it
girl that.
Oh, hot boxing.
hot
What?
boxing. Her,
Who?
no, listen. Her whole YouTube moniker is hot boxing in your mom's car.
Oh, hot boxing. Yeah, there you go. Hot boxing. Where the hell did hot boxing come from? Larry talking about that's a smoking. I ain't never heard of nothing damn called hot boxing. Hot box.
I want to say it started in like the late '90s.
Where?
And
And where y'all at? I
I
can't.
was in New York when it started for me.
I ain't never heard of that, Mary.
I think it has something to do with like because you can't smoke like when you're in apartment buildings, you know, and there's nowhere to smoke. So people would take these drives and go, you know, like into the country, and that's I don't know why they called it that, but they would call it let's go hot box the car in the country. You know what I'm saying?
So
Yeah, it's
hot box
always
meant smoke in the car.
no.
Yes.
Well, hot boxing is basically when you're in a confined area with a
Yeah.
bunch of people and you
Yeah.
start smoking, and then pretty
Right.
soon all you can see is smoke in front of you. So
Right.
this whole
Right.
room, no matter what you're in, a car, a closet, a bathroom, a living room, whatever, as long as you feel
Okay. So if you
that
go in the
room full
car,
of smoke,
you
you're hot boxing that room or car or whatever out.
Right.
even if you was having sex in the you even if you
No,
if,
no, that's something different. And I think that's why they came up with that new word because that's steam. When that steam be dripping down the windows, don't be knocking at the doors. You hear what I'm saying?
Mary said no, that's a different topic, Sly. She said no,
Oh my
honey, that's
God.
a different kind of smoke.
Oh,
She said smoking steam is not the same damn thing, Sly.
not the same. Bear, say hi. This is Hot Boxing's male dog, Bear. Look over here.
Bear,
Over.
hey Bear, hey
They're like
Bear,
kids; they never perform on
hey
command.
Bear,
They never
hey Bear.
do.
What's up, Bear? Look,
Bear,
how you know I'm
please.
talking to
Okay,
dog?
boy.
How does she
Okay,
know
go
I'm
ahead.
talking? Mary,
He's
Their
how
daddy
fine.
does
is
she know I'm
outside and
talking to
it's
a dog?
triggering them all.
How does she know I'm talking to my dog? How does she know I'm talking to a damn dog? She's barking and she came up to me like she knows I'm talking to another dog. What the fuck? How does
That's
she
what she
know?
said. She's like, what
I'm
the fuck,
serious.
mom?
All I said was, "Hey, bear, hey." I guess because I did like this. She started.
Yeah.
Look, here she go again. Look, she want to know who the hell am I?
Tell her I got a
That's my
sexy
call.
beast in my lap.
She said, "That's my call, Mom."
Yeah. No, I don't. You know what? No, I don't. I don't, Larry. I never do that to them. I call them by their name.
Sly was just like, no, I don't.
Yeah, I call them by their name. I don't. And I've never said, "Here, boy. Here, girl." Nope.
No.
Kenzie, get your ass in here. Graham
You should
crackers.
see me after I got off a panel with Moose, and my dog's name is Mufasa, but we call him Moo Moo. So there's sometimes I'm like, "Come here, Moose." I mean, Mufasa. That's your name. Your name is Mufasa. I just hope I don't call Moose Mufasa one day. Sorry ahead of time.
Linda,
like
I'm sorry. If you want, if I was running my mouth too much, child, come back and come back. We need you up here.
Come back, Linda, but it might be your signal. She's been having issues lately.
She said she's having signal problems. That's kind of like my mother of my kids. She used to, and she called the kids there because they had Jackie, Jamie, and Joey. And she goes, "Jackie, Jamie, Joey, whoever in the hell you are, get your ass over here."
My aunt used to do that to us all the time. She would call out all three. If she wanted one of us, she would call all three of our names until the right one, and she figured out answer.
You know what I would do to my kids?
Huh?
I would get their names wrong, and they'd be like, "That's not my name. I don't even care in this minute. You get over here." They give me a look with their hand on their hip, like, "Mom."
Yeah.
I'll tell you
We have
something that's
3
kind of
different
funny.
names. How can you get us confused? Completely different names. Listen, she's still heard about it, Sly.
What's her channel? What's Smokeboxing channel?
Hot boxing in your mom's car.
Yeah, I keep saying smoke boxing, yo, because I'm thinking of smoke, right?
Yeah.
I gotta tell you the truth. When I hear hot box, I think of car and steam. Okay, I'm just telling you, Mary.
When I first heard it was like, in New York, and that was when people would be using my box is hot, females, and I'm like, no, I don't like that wording together. No.
See, in my day, a hot box did mean that. In my day, all right. So we talking about the 80s, right? If you had a hot box, that meant you needed to go to the clinic.
Yes, that's exactly what it meant. So when they came out with hot boxing in the late 90s, I was like, no, I don't. No. And they're like, you smoke pot. And I'm like, oh, yes, I do smoke pot.
That's what Larry had to say. That's what Larry had to explain, right? Because the look on my face was clueless when he said, hot boxing. I said, hot boxing. Why is her name that? Oh shit! Look.
Oh my god. Fucking funny.
I'm sorry. Look, I'm sorry, Hotbox.
Hey, did you ever see the person on YouTube who has a moniker and their moniker is called Stupid?
No.
And you can't even say hey, hi, stupid, without starting a laugh. You know what I'm saying? Because we say it in our heads all the time, like, oh, they're stupid. I gotta deal with this again. But this person's name is stupid. So even in a serious conversation, like, oh man, I feel you there, stupid.
See, listen. Now you would know that you're talking. This is how them stupid people are in the YouTube streets, right? You would know that you're talking to him. We had somebody in the chat. Their name was fuck off, right? So they were saying something in the chat and I was engaging with them and I used their name. I
Right.
typed their name in the chat. Somebody was like, "Oh, why you talking to him like that? We don't go through that." And I'm like, "Yo, that's his name. I only text. Oh no, you can't be doing that up in our chat." Da 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 da. And I'm like, "Yo, that's his name. I only text his name." Man, I got out of here. I left him the fuck alone. I couldn't.
You
Like,
had
why
to
is
walk away because you were just dealing with a bunch of people who were hitting their own heads together, right?
you see that's his name? It says fuck off, right? How you gonna tell me not to respond that way?
Oh my God, that is hysterical. That is absolutely hysterical.
So to talk to him, I had to change the way I spelt it. Did that
Oh
make
no
any sense?
shit, really?
Did that make any sense, Mary?
Yeah,
If I
it does
wanted to
make
talk
sense,
to
but
him,
that's sad.
that was stupid, wasn't it?
Yeah.
If his name is spelled F-U-C-K off, what am I supposed to put if I'm talking to him?
If you said fuck off, then they would have something to say,
Then it's
right?
a problem. Right, exactly. Right, exactly. Just like the person said when I said, "Oh shit," they said, "Oh, why you calling me a piece of shit?"
Oh no. Oh no.
I said, "Oh shit." They said, "Oh bitch, why you calling me a piece? You
Oh
calling
my
me a
God, are
piece
you
of shit?"
serious?
I'd be like, is your
Yes,
name
I'm not
O?
lying. I'm not lying.
Oh my
Yo,
God.
yeah. Yo.
Is this
Told
not
him,
friggin' laughable, you guys? Am I the only one that is just like completely befuddled by human behavior right now?
no, you're not. Because listen, when they start acting like that, I leave them alone. It's certain
For
people that
real.
I listen. I don't have to put up with your energy. I'm not
Right?
gonna fake. You know what I mean. And then when every time I see you, you coming at me for no reason, I left you alone. Look, after a year, they was Sly Shy hate me. Yo, after a year, I don't even fuck with you. Why is you saying anything? You know what I mean?
Yeah, 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 yeah.
Why let people know because you want to get people on your side, right? To
Mhm.
not like me either.
Right. For
And
some,
that's why
for
that's how I
some
got blocked in
notion.
a lot of these. That's how I got blocked in a lot of these chats because they're mods. So because this person don't like me, then they got a couple of mods on their side that don't like me as well.
Well, here's the thing about free speech. Even fuck off is protected.
Yeah.
Even fuck off is protected speech under and I hated when they said this yesterday. Because I said something about laws. We're spiritual beings. No, motherfucker. We live in this country that has laws. And if you
Yeah,
don't
but
want to at least acknowledge them to know which way to go and not go, you can't complain about the damn jail time. I mean, if
but
we
listen,
take this
check this
back
out.
to the Bible, just take it back to the Bible. It even says in the Bible to honor the laws of the lands in which you live.
Right, but check this out.
It
If you
doesn't
honor
say
the
go
laws,
break them all.
right, but listen, if you honor the laws of which the land you're in, right, you don't talk to people any kind of way and you don't treat people any kind of way. You respect them because you want to respect yourself. You treat them kind because you want them to be kind to you. You have a caring heart because you want people to care about you, right?
Well, that I'm
Go
sorry,
ahead.
Sly. Go ahead.
No, you made me lose my train of thought, but go ahead. It'll come back to me.
Well, what I was going to say is, yes, there is free speech, but there again, in my house, I don't have to accept your free speech if I feel your free speech has hurted me or hurting somebody else in somebody's way, and that's where a lot of these people try to use that against you,
Yes.
Okay.
coming in with their negativity and forcing their negativity upon you,
And they
and then
say
you
it's
time
free
them
speech.
out or block them or whatever. Oh well, you're blocking my
censoring me.
free speech or
censoring
whatever.
Yeah, you're censoring me.
Right.
And that's
Okay,
not true.
Right.
Because this
Free
isn't
speech.
literally public. We're at Larry's house.
Right, true that, but we're on a public platform. But listen, this is what I'm saying.
And-
The First Amendment, far as speech, applies to the government, public
Right.
officials.
yes,
So
that
they
they
won't use
cannot shut down our free
they
speech,
won't
right?
so they won't, if we address them without grievances, they won't use it against us. That's what the First Amendment covers, that we can address our government and police officers in their official duties, and the First Amendment protects us with freedom of speech. So that no, it means that we can protest, we can say what we want, as
Yeah,
long as we're
yeah,
not threatening to harm
yeah,
anybody or hurt
yeah.
anybody. Far with the government is concerned. With people, when you use free speech, you're taking your own shit in your own hands, right?
That's
You know what I mean?
true.
Because you can't
But
walk
when
up
you
to me.
try to limit someone else's, it's the same thing.
Mhm.
Don't you agree?
Yeah, I'm
Either
gonna
way,
limit.
you are playing
Yes,
with
I'm
fire.
gonna limit. I'm gonna limit you calling me a bunch of bitches. I'm gonna limit you
Mhm.
calling me a bunch of n words with the
Yeah,
hard er. I'm gonna limit that shit. You know what I mean?
right,
They just words. No, they're not just words. You have to
right.
look up why those words were created to be using them. You know what I
Yes,
mean?
yes,
And
yes,
that
yes.
we talking about the N with the hard ER. We're not talking about nigga. We talking about the N with
Right.
the hard ER. When you
And
using that
intention.
word with
Yes,
intent,
yes.
yeah, if you using that word with intent behind it, you know where it came from and you know it's hurtful, right?
Yeah,
Now if
Yeah,
yes.
you
and
just
that it's trying to trigger
made it
you in
up,
some way or form.
huh?
Yes,
That's a
that's
good.
exactly, and that's how it's labeled in the law, Larry. It's labeled as fighting words. So a part of the free speech amendment has been you can't walk up to someone and start spewing words that can be considered fighting words and call that your free speech.
Exactly. Exactly, Mary. Exactly. I can't get all up in your face calling you a bunch of bitches and this, that, and the other and expect you not to hit me. I can't. I
Yeah.
can't do that.
Exactly. Yo, Sly, you're not even gonna believe this story. You're not even gonna believe it. A person moved in locally to me, and most people befriend a new neighbor, right? Especially because we're out in the middle of nowhere. You ever need help? Here's my number, kind of thing.
Right?
And I got to know her very well to the point that she said, "No, my free speech can never be trumped." And I'm trying to tell her, yes, it can. And she's like, no, 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 no. I can go on the corner and say and she did it over and over. So I wanted to reach through the phone and choke the ever loving
Yeah.
shit out of her
A
because I'm
video
trying
went
to tell her,
viral.
listen, it don't have to be written in law to be
Yeah.
consequential. And my husband said, I'd like to see her walk up in one of our neighborhoods and say that and be able to walk away on both her legs still working.
You should have seen what the video went viral. You should have seen what this guy was pranking, walking up to people, talking, saying the N word with the hard ER. And he said it to the wrong person, yo. He said it to the wrong person. His show went viral. His you just can't, like the guy, that went viral on the one that's on YouTube with the shorts that walk up to people and say, hand me that boy. You heard what I said. Hand me that boy. You ever see him?
No.
He wear the hat. He the country guy. He wear the overalls and the hat all the time.
Mm.
And he
Oh,
walk up to
yeah, yeah.
that boy. And a couple of times he got knocked down, and his friend got, could have got really hurt. You can't do that to people. I don't care
Mm-mm.
what you say. It's just words. If they don't mean nothing to me, I can just walk away. You got somebody standing in your face talking about N-word, you know what I mean, with the hard ER. It's not easy to walk
Mhm.
away. If you got somebody calling you a bunch of bitches in your face, it's not easy to walk away. You understand
No,
what I'm
because
saying?
our first, as humans, Sly, our first reaction is to detect a threat. And so when people use these words that are dripped with disdain, that's a threat. And we have every right to put our protections up.
Defend ourselves, right? Because we
To
don't
say
know,
we don't have
right?
that right because you have free speech, fuck off with that. My armor
Right.
doesn't give a shit about your free speech, right?
How
Exactly.
dare you tell me to fuck off?
I mean, we, as human beings, right? We should respect each other, right? No matter
Yeah.
what. That's what I was trying to tell my boy yesterday. Um, I love him dearly, but even though you don't like something, right? All you can do is pray about it. All you can do is do your
Yeah.
part. You can't change other people. You can't make other people stop being the way they are because you don't like it. That's not your place in this
Sly.
world.
Someone asked me one time how I cannot hate my parents.
Mhm.
And I thought about it for many, many years, just watching people and thinking about it and watching situations and thinking about it. And what I came up with is this: we're all fucking people.
Right.
That's one fact that it can be all boiled down to. And we've all gone in directions and we've all screwed up. And if we quantify one screw up,
Sorry.
we have to quantify them all. And there's no human being that wants to sit down and write down all their screw ups to be calculated by someone else to be worthy or unworthy. No one wants to do that. So why can't we have a basic human respect? We all breathe air. We all eat food. We all need water. We
Yeah,
all need warmth. Why can't there be a basic human respect of understanding
because
that we're all here?
they don't have it within themselves, Mary. Like if they had
Hey,
it,
Nubs, can you show your face? Make sure it's you.
huh?
Nubs is in the backstage, I'd say, asking if he could show his face so we can make sure it's him.
Okay, yeah, definitely do that. I don't want no-
There we go. Thank you.
But hi Nubs. But
What's
yeah,
Hi,
up,
it's
now.
everybody?
still hi babe.
I
It's
figured
still
it was you, bud, but it's always best to be safe than sorry.
def- definitely because they
Yeah.
got
Yep, yep, yep.
silence and use your name.
So I got
But
an answer for
yes,
you
you
guys.
definitely go ahead, babe.
Ooh, go ahead.
You're asking why is it so hard for a human or for basic respect for another human, blah, 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 right?
Mhm.
The answer is simple. The answer is very simple. For one, humans are animals.
Mm.
You and I are not humans. We are individuals. Now, the reason that it's so hard for a general general respect for another is because there is no standard of excellency for a individual self-respect. Once you respect yourself, then and only then is it possible to respect another. You're muted.
That is really profound, and I don't even want to. I don't even
I
want to
mean, it's
contemplate the numbers of what you're saying because of what we see. It just seems like so much lack of self-respect.
but Mary,
That's
once again,
exactly what it is.
we can only conduct ourselves though, right? We can't even stress about what they are because they have to hold themselves responsible, right? They have
Well,
to
I'm
hold.
only if you detect stress, it's
Mhm.
because we're so deep in the freaking rabbit hole about this subject that's not talked about that I don't know if it's closer to finish going down the rabbit hole or climb back out.
Okay, so
I got gas.
I'm gonna get wait, Mary. I'm gonna get with you. I'm on your page, Mary. Wait. I'm on your page, right. So all right, so I know that one rabbit hole I do know about, right? And I'm gonna get to the bottom of it, but I have to do it personally because everything is not for the YouTube streets, right? But one of the rabbit holes, yo, I'm down it too. I'm like, what the look, Mary, look, Mary, look at me. So I'm like this, and
I'm like,
I'm like this down in the rabbit hole with my phone with my flashlight. Like, the fuck is going on? So I'm with you on one of them rabbit holes, right? I might have to catch up with a couple of episodes, right? To because you know how the soap operas are. You got to wait for the next week or the next show, and all of them are doing the show. So I gotta catch up with some shit. But it made my phone ringing. But Mary, I understand exactly where you're coming from. But look, still, Paul did it yesterday. You know the situation. You know how they are. Oh, hold on, this water department. Yes, hello. Hold on, Mary.
Okay.
Yeah, it's definitely a lack of self-respect. It's a lack of there's a couple of things that are lacking. You know, like if you read, I'm not trying to put the Bible down anybody's throat. Nevertheless, intelligence is intelligence, and there's a passage that talks about the fruit of the Spirit, and the fruit of the Spirit is identified in one's life as love, joy, peace, patience, kindness, goodness, faithfulness, gentleness, long suffering, and self-control. We don't even know what those last two words mean. And we sure don't know what the other ones mean. Because we have diluted the definitions, the outlines of these words, and therefore because the outline is distorted, the interior is definitely distorted. You know, you can't have a distortion of one without the distortion of the other. Correct. You know, for instance, love. Love is for oneself first and foremost, and then is able to go out. So right there, out of the gate, the very first evidence of the Spirit per se, we don't even know what it is. And then joy. Joy we attribute to happiness, but happiness and joy are two very different things. Joy comes from within, happiness comes from without.
Yes.
You know, happiness is a result of joy, but it does not have to hand in hand go together. You know, I mean, it's kind of like enjoying the suck when you have land that needs holes dig approximately 10 feet apart in a square, 48 inches deep by 1 foot around. You know, there's joy at the beginning of that, and there's joy at the end of that.
Yes.
But it's
and
not.
If you embrace the suck,
if you erase the suck, then you will never have the true joy. You will only merely have happiness.
Yeah.
And peace. We don't know what that word means. None of us have ever seen a day of peace in our life. Our country has always been at war. Patience.
Right.
We don't have patience for ourselves, so how could we have patience for another? Kindness. We aren't kind to ourselves, so you know, like that. There again goes out
and we're
the
all
window.
talking about free things.
Well, what is free? Free is without value. We always talk about how these things are free.
I used the wrong word. I triggered Nubs by using the wrong word. We all have these things without cost if we look within ourselves. That's what I meant. They don't cost us.
I would say they definitely have a cost. The cost of being loving is possibly getting your heart broken. The cost of being joyful is, you know, having that joy tested. You know, there is definitely a consequence to every single action. It's whether it's a beneficial consequence or a negative consequence. You know, for instance, the consequence of you not having a hammer drill to dig those 4 holes would be detrimental because you would not be able to do it if you did not the consequences of your action. Now, since you do have that hammer drill, the consequences of your actions are much easier to deal with because of. Does that make sense?
Yes, because the backache is going to be less than the rock bar, but more than not doing it.
Yes. yes, there will still be backache, there will be still heartache, there will still be blood, sweat, and
Mm-hmm.
tears. Nevertheless, the manifestation of the end result is different because
Yes.
the pudding had different ingredients.
Yes. Yes. And what people don't understand is we do kind of have a choice as to what most of the ingredients are. Do you ever see that
We
show
always have
Chopped?
choice.
Do you ever see that show Chopped, Nubs, on the Food Channel?
I think.
So everybody gets a box, and everybody gets 90% exact ingredients, and the one
Yeah, I have seen that show. There is the meat is different, or there's one thing that's different about
yes,
everybody else's dishes, and
and you
it
have to
creates
figure it out.
right. It's much like when I go into the kitchen and I see that I have an egg and some flour and a little bit of this and a little bit of that, and I make a pasta dish versus the same or the same thing happening another night and me making bread because I added yeast to my dough mix
Yes.
instead of egg.
And I bring up that philosophy just to say that is very much like life, at least the life we all know, of these past couple centuries. And people get real bristled about getting something like liver in their box. You know what I'm saying? It's not something they would
Because
choose.
we don't like liver.
Right. Right.
Because
so there's
liver
so many...
has too much nutrients. That's why liver tastes bad, is there's too much of a good thing.
And if you don't know how to deal with it, are the people going to eat it? No. Every time,
And if
no.
you don't know how to cook it right, people aren't going to eat it. But you could cook liver correctly and serve it, and nobody would be none the wiser if you know how to cook it. Onions
steak
are
and
not
onions.
the way to cook it. Onions
thought it
bring
was
Yeah,
steak
every
and
time I
onions.
hear liver and onion nubs, I just want to be like, you guys don't know what you're talking about.
Yo, I
Right.
thought liver was steak. I'm telling you, my mom made liver and onions, man. I did not know the difference until I learned, when I got older, that she was giving me liver. Well, she told me it was liver, but I was like, yo, that tastes like steak to me.
Well, and that's the other thing, is you were taught that liver was steak. You will never know liver to be disgusting because you've always known it to be steak.
No.
Yeah,
I assumed it was steak because of how it tastes. She told me it was liver, but I
Oh, so
said the
you
way
have
it
that
tasted,
acquired
I didn't
taste.
like
Slide
liver.
the one person in a million that has the acquired taste.
No.
for liver and onion.
Her mom made it right. Her mama
right.
has some cooking skills.
Yep.
Right.
'Cause
That's
I
why
hated
Sly assumed it was steak. Is that what you're saying?
Yep.
It tasted, to me, it tasted like, it tasted good. It didn't taste like no nasty liver to me. Because when you heard liver, you thought nasty when you was a kid.
Immediately.
9.9 people that I know, I would never eat their liver and steak or their liver and onions. But I'd probably try Sly's mom. Yeah, I'd probably try that. She's that 0.001% of the population that can cook that kind of stuff correctly, apparently.
Right.
Yep.
But
and
the
it's
thing
really
is,
what we do with our gift. You're absolutely right.
She knew what she was working with. She adjusted her cooking accordingly to embrace and shine what that piece of meat was. And I'm so glad you brought it up that way, because that's where I was going. If we can't embrace the things that come in and out of our lives, we failed to learn the lesson deep within it. That doesn't mean pick up your favorite sandwich after it's been shit on. That's not what I'm saying.
Talcott. Oh, I'm sorry.
Well, people do it. People do it in public. It's absolutely disgusting. We all have a reaction to it, but philosophy still stands true. If you cannot embrace the challenges, and I've had some serious challenges in life, I'm not trying to be flippant about any of it, but I embrace them. So, number one, I took lessons. Number two, I actually humanized my parents instead of dehumanized them because as a child, in my mind, they were dehumanized. So as I grew up and understood and embraced the challenge, I was able to say, hey, I don't even want to think about what they did wrong. Why? Because I need them to be just human, just with their heart beating like everybody else, walking the earth, struggling like everybody else. So they fucked up in a really bad way. Who am I to condemn them when I've done the
I
same
had
thing
the
for
same
not
thing.
embracing my life?
I'm
Well, that's
sorry. I
because
had the
you have
same
understood that
thing.
they have done the best that they did, when they did, what they did. Whether it be wrong or right, they did it the way they did it.
Yo, I'm sorry, Dubs. I
Right. I
had the
don't
same
talk to
thing.
them now, not
I was
because of the
getting my
past.
ass
I don't
whooped.
talk to them now because they never grew.
I was getting my well, I did forgive my mother once I got my life together. I did forgive my mother for all the abuse, right? But man, listen, I hated them. I hated them. I hated them. Because
I
I was like,
hear you.
that was like, how could you bring a beautiful baby in the world and abuse it? You know what I mean? Like, I thought that at the age of 2 or 3, I knew I was pretty. I was
Mhm.
beautiful. And I think due to my mother's addiction, she was jealous of that. Then she started becoming paranoid, right? Because that's what the drugs was doing to her.
Yep.
But
Yeah.
man, then then I started getting the ass whoopings and the scars and all of this and all of that, and then I had to lie about them and all that kind of crazy stuff. And then people saw them and was scared to say something. So like I had to deal with all of that. I had to talk about all of that when you said writing shit down. I had to do all of that, right? So now when people be trying to pick my brain about what I went through, yo, I just say that shit and I be like done with it because it's no need for me to rehash none of it because I already dealt with it. You know what I mean?
Well, it's because you don't live in the past.
Right. Well, I
Right.
dealt with the past before I got out of it. I did deal
Well,
with it.
that's what I'm saying. If you don't deal with your past, you will live in it.
Yes,
Right.
exactly.
And what people are asking for are details. And what you're basically telling them is, I don't have those details because I'm past that. I didn't see it yesterday. I saw it 30 freaking years ago. Right.
Yes, thank you, baby. Yes, exactly. It's
That's
like
why
I
I don't
don't.
talk about details. I give like vague notions so that people can get what I'm talking about. But the
You hear
details
that
I
boy?
left in the past.
Yeah, you hear that boy be talking about? Well, give me an example or give me deep. No, nigga, I don't need to give you no goddamn details.
I
Like I
mean,
gotta
you
really.
more
And
than
then when I
you,
gave
I will
details,
answer.
I got laughed at when I gave details. I got laughed at. You know what I mean? So you damned if you do on this damn YouTube street, or you damned if you don't. It's like, yo, leave me the fuck alone. I'm good. And people don't understand
Yeah.
that, Mary. People want to see you happy. People don't want to
Dude, I
see
totally know what you're talking about because
you don't.
I've been on YouTube a very long time without engaging, and just recently started engaging with the Viddy Vivid that was going on, and I am flabbergasted. I am just flabbergasted at the depth people will go to make themselves feel better.
It's
Because that's
because
what it,
we finally are seeing the depravity that we ourselves have given ourselves.
Mhm.
And the reason I say that is because we're all guilty of it to a certain degree. Whether we want to admit it or not, we're all guilty of that same kind of behavior.
Not negative.
And
no,
Not
what's that?
listen,
negative.
Sly, what he's saying is we all had to acknowledge that behavior in ourselves in order to learn not to be it.
I was
Absolutely.
never negative, Nubs. I was all people always hurted me, Nubs. I was the most sweet. Listen, they would fight around me and get mad at me because I wasn't fighting. I would
Well, of
listen to
course.
music. Remember the little boy in the movie take Face Off, and he put his music on his ears, and he told me, he told him just chill out, whatever. That's the kind of person I was all my life. Even during elementary school, I was such a peaceful person. People, look, grown-ups called me ugly. I mean, kids call me ugly, grown-ups call me ugly. Like nobody liked me.
Was that
Sly.
peaceful or was it unsettling? Because I know growing up myself,
Yeah.
having some of those same kind of challenges, it was
Mhm.
very unsettling. I just kept my mouth shut.
Until
Guys,
I
in
got
my
old
mind,
enough.
let me just throw this out there real quick, Sly. I don't want to disrespect you. I just want to throw this out there. In my mind, what I see through what I experienced is there was a brick wall in front of me because I couldn't get out. I was a child, but I was screaming behind the brick wall. It wasn't like we were doing nothing, guys. We were feeling things. We were trying to understand things, even as children. But there's a brick
Man, I
wall in front of
understand
us.
that bitch was crazy. I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. I'm sorry. I'm sorry, Mary. But I understood that bitch was crazy. My mother had some fucking issues, yo. I'm letting you know now. It started at the age, I think, uh, at the age of maybe 4 is when I realized my mother had some problems. Okay, she was a single mom. She had to work 2 jobs when I was a baby up until I was about 4. Right, that's when all hell started breaking loose. She started doing drugs, partying, hanging out with the cocaine and all that monster people, all them kind of people. Right, but all my life until I'm so glad that God seen light for me at the age of 23 years old. I'm serious. I wouldn't be here today if God didn't show me a light. I'm serious. And once I found that light, man, he gave me all the tools that I needed to get my life in order. I mean, so that's what I did.
That's
And
that's exactly where I'm coming from by speaking on that fruit of the spirit, is because we all do have those things. They are all in us. Absolutely, I have love. Absolutely, I have joy. I have peace. I have patience. I have kindness, and I also have tenacity. Have you ever seen a pit bull holding on to a damn rope? That is something that is acquired. And growing up the way that we all did, we were taught how to hold on. We were taught to lock that jaw. What we were not taught is how to break those walls down. We've had to figure that shit out on our own. And what we were also taught is we were taught a lot about mental illness. We were all taught a lot about mental illness because drugs are just a result of mental illness. Food is just a result of mental illness. Abuse is just
Yeah.
a result of mental illness. And we had some really fucked up parents that did some really fucked up shit. And we realize as adults that we do not have to continue in the debauchery that is our parents, that we can
Yes.
step out and be ourselves and be that love and be that joy, despite whether it was ever taught to us. Because much like hate, love is a taught behavior.
Yep.
And it's a muscle.
teach me that though, Nubs. Like I had to learn that on my own.
Well, we all
We're
learn that on our own.
autodidactic.
The whole big
Humans are
deception is that it's
autodidactic. Sorry, Nubs. Go
yes.
ahead.
Yes, we are absolutely internal learners. If we don't do our fucking push-ups, we're never gonna get the chest that we want. If we don't do our fucking sit-ups, we're never gonna have that six-pack we've always desired. Does your desire meet your demand, or does your demand to meet your desire? It's about what's inside. That's the difference, because like something that I've learned a lot is there's a huge difference between an owner of a company and a worker in a company. There's a huge difference.
That's what I had to tell them workers this morning, right? Because I had to make, because they was like, no, no, no. I was like, listen, don't take it personal. You don't own it. This is not your company. You only work for the organization, right? So calm down. Listen to the people, right? Try to explain themselves. Because they was defending the damn company, they're defending the corporation. No, y'all was wrong.
Well, we tend to defend dead things like corporations
Right.
and bad behavior. We tend to defend those things because it's easier to live in a lie than it is to research the truth. And why do
Nubs,
they
I'm
call
so
it
glad you.
researching? Do you know why they call it researching?
Mm-hmm.
Because it's already
Because
in
it was
us. We just
hidden.
need to. Yeah,
Research
it's
it.
in us. Yeah.
Nubs, I love you so much, man. Because I mean, I guess I love the whole thing. This whole process in the past 6 months have been, fascinating to me, right? And then the way you said that, it was already written. We just gotta research it, right?
Yeah. It is written inside of us.
But the search
If
is
it
in.
wasn't,
Nubs is so. I'm sorry, Nubs, but you're so right because the search is going in first. But if you take with you tools like quantifying bad behavior, excusing ignorance, but if you take these tools within you, you're hurting yourself. You have to go within with just a light in search of truth. And then the truth will be unveiled. But if you try to bring in other stuff that's not meant to be there, then you're harming yourself.
so I've got a story for you guys. All right. So every day before I go to work, when I'm working construction during the summer, every single day, I take a look at what my tools are in the truck. Does anybody know why I look at the tools that are in my truck?
To make sure you got everything you need for your job. Make sure you
Not
equip.
not just to make sure that I have everything that I need.
What?
I also check to make sure that I have everything that I want.
True
Because
that.
gloves are not a need. They're a want.
Yo, you make me sick, man. Yo, I got a whole box of gloves, right? I did all my hands was freezing. Yo, and I said, you dummy, you got a whole box of gloves. Go get the damn gloves. I did 4 weeks of whole hands, right? Then yesterday I had the damn gloves. It didn't even put them on.
And that's just what I'm saying. The tools that we need and the tools that we want, we always have. And the reason we have them, kind of like the rock bar to the hammer drill. The rock bar will get the job done. The hammer drill will do it easier. You need the rock bar. You want the hammer drill.
Okay. Yep. I got you.
And building up your tools to go from that rock bar to that hammer drill, you've got to put in equity. And equity comes from within. Because you can't go get a loan because there ain't nothing that we can pay back. It ain't really a loan. There ain't no loans. There ain't no currency.
I never indulged in none of that shit. Go ahead, Nubs. I'm sorry.
It really boils down to we are everything that we need. We are the gold. I would assume, and this is an assumption, so I could be wrong, but why do you assume Danny does what she does? Because she realizes that she is the gold and she keeps that gold looping within herself. It's a brilliant idea, something I'm not willing to come to, but nevertheless, I see the merit in what she's doing. I see the dedication in what she's doing. I see the tenacity in what she's doing, and I see the results of what she's doing. Her skin looks like a 20-year-old. She's talking about having babies that are in that age range. Like, damn.
Well, damn, Nubs, how old do I look?
You look young, too. You look pretty young. I know you're older than what I think you are every time I look at you.
But I don't answer questions, Sly.
I was around when I turned 60. I turned 60 on January 6th.
Yeah, that's
Yeah,
why I'm
yeah, yeah.
saying you are older than what I think you are, because
Oh
I've
yeah.
always, whenever I met you, like back on fucking what's his name's no, not Paul, what's his name from Florida,
Chuck, not Chuck.
No, he's from
no,
Tennessee.
Wait, no. We talking about Chuck Bronson. I'm talking about Chuck Bronson.
no,
Wait,
way
you
back
came up
when,
on somebody's panel. You came up on somebody's panel I was on. If you came in the chat or something, right?
yeah, and then we came up on panel, Florida dude, dude with the spray paint.
Wait a minute, you're not talking about Ice Cold.
No, the dude that got spray painted by that dude down there in Florida.
Not SGV. Was it SGV for?
What the fuck is his name? Porter
I
Firmer.
know who you
PDF.
Porter. Oh, PDF. Oh, you. Those were the days, man.
See, I've been knowing you for a minute.
That was one of the ones, right? That some people. That was another one. That was number 2. Some people saw that I thought that he was in the chat, right? They were talking about him on the panel. So I thought he was in the chat, and I was like, oh shit, PDF. Do you know they went and told him I called him a piece of shit?
Of course, they're gonna do all sorts of stupid shit
And
because they don't have that self-control.
Do you know he fell into it? And I tried to explain to him what exactly I said. And do you know he fell into it? And his chat told him to block me, and his chat was trolling me and starting all kinds of shit just because they misunderstood the read of the chat.
Shy. Look at consider the source. I'll end it with that. Just consider the source. Enough.
Look at all these gas tanks or gas pumps right here, folks.
That's billions of holy shit.
Can you guess where I'm at?
I would say a truck stop. I would hope a truck stop.
Nope, no trucks allowed in this stop.
So is this the checkpoint? One of the checkpoints, Moose?
It's a Buc-ee's. You ain't never been to a Buc-ee's?
Buc-ee's?
Yeah,
oh,
man.
Shit. Buc-ee's. You gotta go get some Buc-ee's beavers.
I'll show you what's up with the beaver, man.
You gotta go get some beaver nuggets.
Dude, that's what we came here for. You don't know about them beaver nuggets?
I ain't never heard no damn Buc-ee's.
Man.
Yeah. You need to go get you some beaver nuggets.
All right, we gotta park real quick, and then we gotta give you some beaver nuggets.
Come on, you Arizona mainline.
We're in Tennessee, buddy.
Oh, you with Chuck? Shit, go pick Chuck up. Chuck need to hang out with you for a little bit. Yo, I just came up here, Larry, and spent time with your ass. I guess I did it because I know y'all missed me, right? Well, no, I know I missed y'all. I ain't even gonna say that y'all missed me. I know I missed y'all. So
I think it works
I was
both
about
ways.
to say, Sly, why you up there lying?
I think it works both ways.
Yeah, that's what I was saying. I had to own up for me. I miss y'all. I could have the ego. Look, hey Boots, I can have the ego for a minute, can I? Or am I delusional, man?
Get out of your imagination, brother.
Hey, man.
Get out of your imagination, man.
Fuck you, brother.
You gotta give the. We're sitting here talking about him. Got him in our fucking heads rent free.
Yes, yo,
man.
He gives the entertainment. You can't lie. That man gives
He is the entertainment.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So
Yeah,
he can't
yeah.
get mad at us because we clown him. You understand what I'm saying? If we see,
if you show up to the fucking barber shop to get your to just sit there, you're gonna get a fucking haircut. Even if your shit is bald, you're gonna get a razor.
Wait. Let me tell y'all how you said you sit up in the barbershop and you get a haircut. I was about to go get the clippers for that motherfucker. He didn't
Oh my God, Chuck did it. Chuck did it, you guys. Chuck said his name 3 times.
He's here. Is he here? We said his name 3 times.
No, Chuck did. So it's coming. Chuck said it 3 times in a row.
Jack
Without even
Talcott.
breathing.
It's like Beetlejuice, man. He'll show
Why
up
you want to
everywhere.
do that to us, Chuck? And I thought you liked us, man.
Come on, Jack. Come on,
man.
Jack. Come on, Jack.
That's not cool, man.
Yo, guys, just don't look in a mirror at night with a candle and say that, because that will invite him in you, not to you.
I watched him like all day long, sit in that damn chair. He go from one string to the next with his damn looping ass. He cussed me out the other night only because I came up and tried to be nice to his ass. He said that I ain't never offered him nothing but a bunch of disrespect. And I said, well, damn. Name one time I disrespected you. He said I disrespect you all the time in the chat.
That's because he's stuck in
When
the
people
chat all
use
the time.
definitive words like all the time, every day, forever and ever, definitely. If you ain't question the person's mouth using that, you're falling for it.
Yeah.
I can tell you that nigga got a script. I don't care what nobody say. He has a whole list of shit right on the side of his computer. He got a whole list of shit.
I've worked for the post office. There are many fucking Jack Talcotts out there. There are so many fucking Jack Talcotts out there. And let me tell you, they're all working for the post office for a specific reason. And that's not because it's in the private sector.
Because they
That's
tell
why
Kyle.
Hey, listen. It's because they talk like this. Yeah.
We're at Bucky's, Crossville, Tennessee right now, folks.
Moose, are you exhausted from that walk?
Dude, I'm huffing puffing from that walk, dude.
What's
We had to
insanity?
park like 20 minutes from the door.
So we can hear Moose.
Wow.
Where are you going, Moose? What is this?
He's going to Bucky's to get some nuggets.
Bucky's, we got to get some nuggets, dude. Got to get the beaver nuggets.
So
Look up nuggets. Look it up on YouTube, Sly.
Y'all feeding beavers? What the fuck?
They're eating beavers. They're eating beaver nuggets. You know where you get beaver nuggets from, right? Little boy beavers.
I got some. Wait. I could get you a bottle of grow some nut pills. Moose.
No. These are beaver nuts.
Beaver nuts?
Yes,
What the
beaver
hell
nuggets.
y'all need?
Beaver blankets. We got beaver Easter plushies.
Oh my
What the
word!
hell you need beaver nuggets for?
What's the bad
What do you use beaver nuggets for?
Apparently.
I don't use beaver nuggets.
Hey, look at this
That's
thing
your
right
problem. You
It's
ain't
a beaver
using the
rag.
nuggets.
What the? All right.
If you put that beaver nugget all over your face,
here. Get yourself a beaver swimsuit, honey. Hey, look at.
Listen,
Get
I
yourself
don't
a
like
beaver
special
swimsuit,
sauce.
folks.
I don't like special sauce. Why would I need
Let's see.
Oh, that was too much. I don't like
that is a lot of beaver.
All right, so it's beaver food?
Yes, it's all based in beaver.
Hey, I got
You can
Lou's
even
wall.
use beaver
We got,
bucks.
right here is Lou's wall of meat.
Now that's one wall of meat.
That's the serious wall of meat.
It's got your
Is that
Korean
dog-
barbecue,
Is that dog treat?
sweet and spicy. What are you saying?
Is that dog treats?
No,
Nah,
Sly,
man, it's
that's
beef
beef jerky. That's white people food.
Okay. Thanks, Nubs.
Mine's like, oh, never knew that.
crawfish
The
jambalaya
white
down here.
people.
Crawfish jambalaya.
That's a ginormous freaking store.
Dude, this is the
Just to
biggest
walk
truck
around
stop you'll ever see ever. It's not even a truck stop.
it. Is that a deli at a truck stop?
Yeah, they got burritos,
It's
tacos.
not a truck stop.
damn BJ's. That's a Kroger's. What the fuck?
And here,
This isn't
here's the beaver nuggets right here.
Alright, what the hell are beaver nuggets? Chicken?
That's an assortment of 4 different beaver nuggets.
Oh man, that's an
Is that
assortment.
chicken?
Same as Rocky Mountain oysters?
Yes. And then look,
Beaver
for all you
balls,
people that want meat on
No.
a bun, we got.
Wow, this is free advertising. They should be paying us. Wow.
They got beaver burgers and beaver
Wow.
wieners.
Beaver wieners!
Look,
Are
look all
y'all
this, man.
serious? Is this real? Is this real, man? Is
Yes,
this
it's real,
right there
Sly.
on the internet.
It's real, man. It's real.
It is real. No
So
lie.
you're telling me all the food is made with beaver nuts?
Sly. All that started after the first car hit the first beaver.
Yes, it's a damn shame.
Oh,
You telling
let's
me
go.
that dude sells all his shit to them?
It's like a fucking little mall. It's a store, but it's
Holy
not.
shit! My local grocery store don't have that much food.
Yeah.
That looks like a
No.
Costco's or something like that, or BJ's. You know,
Oh.
one
Look
of
at
them.
the size of that
Not
place.
BJ's, beavers.
I'm saying
Look at it. Got the new beaver right here.
Got the
That's
new
that
beaver.
new beaver.
Is that Bucky
Mm.
Beaver?
That is Bucky.
Wow.
That's Bucky's right here, dude. All right. Here we got
Now
the.
somebody's gonna come up to him and go, "Sir, you can't film inside this store."
Nah.
We got some house blend beaver right here.
What is
Beaver,
that?
Bucky Beaver House.
Who's got the
blend
feedback
coffee.
going? Mute the mic, man.
Is that
Mute the
me?
mic. Come on, Sly. We got the house blend beaver right here. Yep. All right, let's see what else
Quality
we got
beaver
out here.
beans.
Quality beaver
Beaver
beans.
beans.
Beaver nuggets. Oh, look, you guys like dried fruit, nuts, jerky, beer, chips. I mean, dude,
I'll have to
Bucky's
tell
has
Wolf
everything.
Lady to look at the time mark of 3 hours, so she can see all the Bucky stuff,
Yes.
Bucky Beaver stuff.
Cheese puffs.
How exactly do you get a
Barbecue.
Bucky's beaver cheese puff?
Go to.
I didn't know beaver milk made good cheese.
Well, the beavers, they poop them out.
They're GMO beavers.
Oh, man, they got pork rinds for all you pork rind lovers. They got
Are those Bucky pork? Oh, they are Bucky pork rinds too.
everything. They got Bucky's
Everything
everything.
is their
So they're
brand.
crossbreeding beavers
Yeah,
with pigs
everything
now?
Wow! I didn't think my brain was gonna go there. Thanks, Nubs.
Dude, look at this.
This is fucking crazy. Everything
Oh
is
my
every
word!
fucking
Let's
brand.
see. Boom.
Branding is everything.
What the hell?
I've never
That's what
I'm
made that
getting a
store.
funny feeling about that brain.
one store of
Beers.
just one brand.
Here, have some peanut butter blast, bro. Some trailblazing crunch. They
You
literally
think
have
about the
everything here.
profit margins on this.
Is
People
there
are
any
literally
other brand
paying.
besides
Yeah.
the Beaver brand?
I saw Tostitos.
Dude,
That's 100% profit, practically. I didn't see. Did you see Doritos in there?
no, there ain't no
I didn't see it.
Doritos in here. Only Bucky's, dude.
Oh, I thought I saw
Got
some
some- You need
Tostitos.
some almonds?
That is fucking
Probably some
crazy.
Tostitos in here.
Wow.
What about the drink? Do they have corporate pop? That's what I need to know.
I think they do. We're gonna have to find it. But for now, folks, we got the cotton candy.
Oh my
So
God!
now-
Cotton candy? Holy
This is just
shit!
a, so this is just a damn.
I wonder if they
Hello.
use the fur for that.
So,
That beats up chewy cotton candy.
this is
Hey,
real.
for you fruit snack lovers,
That is
we got the
crazy.
mixed fruit snacks.
Hello. Hello, man. Is this so?
Okay,
This
what else we
is
got?
not. This stuff is not beaver stuff. It's
I
just
got
the
the coffee here.
No, it is all beavers, Sly.
This is getting heavy.
Everything is made from the beaver.
They,
Huh?
in fact, they are
Everything is
getting
made from the
the
beaver. I
vanilla
just need my
flavoring.
beaver nuggets, and then we can go. Let's see.
Luckily,
And we're looking for.
You know, you get
They
vanilla
got beaver sauces.
from Beaver Caster.
Let's see.
No, I didn't know that.
Yep,
Hey, look
all
at this. We
that
got some
imitation
nuggets right
vanilla. That's where they get it. Imitation vanilla comes straight out of the beaver's ass.
I got
We're
work.
going. We got
Yeah.
chocolate caramels.
Yo, Sly,
chocolates.
that's a true story. That's when I started making my own vanilla extract.
You're telling me this came out of a beaver's ass?
Yeah.
They tend to use they make it chemically, but ultimately it's the same chemical as in Beaver Caster.
Beaver nuggets.
So you're telling me I got
Here we go.
Is that what
Look
you're
If
what
you have
Rob
vanilla
said.
and it says natural flavoring, most likely it might have beaver.
I thought the coffee was free. My bad. I'm sorry.
He ain't lying, Sly. He is not lying. That's why I started making my own vanilla.
You literally just ruined everything vanilla in stores for me right now.
now y'all gonna make
Are
me
you
stop
freaking kidding me?
Just imagine when you walk in the store, Sly, and you walk up to that vanilla candle, and you take that vanilla candle and you shove that bitch right up next to your nose.
Sorry. We'll come up to another gas
Yeah.
station eventually.
Good morning, dropping nine.
Bucky's is insane. All right. As you guys saw, Bucky's is a little insane. It's a little intense in there.
That's
Do
all
you
right.
feel
Intense, but look.
violated by the shopping bug?
Oh, dude. The only thing I went in there for is nuts and coffee, and that's all I came out with.
Had
Hey,
to
are
get those
those
beaver
are those
nuts.
beaver grills too?
Yeah, they got beaver grills. They got all kinds of shit.
Look at all the ice. Jesus.
Hey, if
That's
you guys
made
need a
out of
job,
beaver sweat.
you could make a lot of money. 150K right there. Be the department manager or whatever.
Wow.
Do yourself a Bucky's way, man. You could be in charge of all of this. Think about it. You could be the Bucky's king.
Fuck that.
You know,
Dude, I'm
Bucky's
coming down.
king.
Nothing but a headache to me.
I'm coming
Nothing but a
down
headache.
right now. I'm on my way.
Oh
That's
shit!
Dude.
I'm
insane.
blacking back here.
Hey, just to be a grocery stalker, you could get $16 an hour. Hey, whoa! Can we get one big screen real fast, Larry? Here we go. This is Bucky right here. That's his gold. His golden nuts are gone. I have his nuts in my bag.
Hey, make sure you rub your beaver.
Oh,
Yeah, rub them, Lucy. Rub them.
Rub
can't
that
rub
beaver.
beaver. We
Rub
gotta
the
go.
nuts. When's the next time
Probably
you're
just
gonna
lucky
be
if you rub
there?
that
Come
I'm
beaver.
getting
on,
left
rub the
behind
nuts.
over here, folks. Getting left
She
behind.
ain't gonna leave you, Lucy.
We ain't going back to
Left
the
you
beavers.
because you're
Can't
over
do
there
it.
rubbing your beaver.
She probably getting ready for them nuts.
I tell you what, though, look at this, man. Bucky's is the #1 gas stop that you'll ever have. All their bathrooms are 100% clean. The inside is crazy.
So where
They
are
got.
you? What land are you
I'm
on?
in. Shit. Let's see.
Tennessee.
Crossville, Tennessee.
Okay.
Looks like parking lot Tennessee to me.
Parking lot, Tennessee. They got a big ass parking lot at Bucky's. They've got 100 Tesla chargers. They got 200 gas pumps. You don't gotta wait for shit. They got an air pump. They got a dog
That's
station.
not right. You need more Tesla chargers than gas pumps. What the hell's wrong with this nation?
No, actually, they don't have 100 Tesla chargers. They have 8, 9, 10, 11, 12,
Chuck
13,
says
14,
you
15.
drove
They
right
got
by
15.
his house, Moose.
Well,
That's bullshit. That's complete
Chuck didn't
bullshit. We
invite us
need
over, so we
more.
didn't go.
We need more electric grid. Just more electric. More electric.
Hey, you guys see the dog park? Look at how many dog poop stands there are. There's
Do the dog poop? Does that power the electric?
Probably.
1, 2, 3. There's 6 or 7 dog shit stations within
Dude,
Wait a
it's just
second. So you're telling me it goes from dog shit to electric charger to gas?
Yeah, dude, and you see these big things right there? It's probably a diesel generator or something. I don't know.
Well, of
Could be
course,
wrong.
That's
It's
fueled by the
recycling
tanks.
bullshit.
bird.
They recycling.
Wait. Diesel generator is giving you electric on your electric car that's supposed to be green.
No. It's not diesel. It's dog shit.
They
Oh,
recycling
dog shit. I
bullshit.
forgot about the dog shit generator. Thanks, Knobs.
All right. That's all we have to show for now.
Damn it.
Yeah.
You know, a dog shit generator doesn't actually. It could potentially work. Just saying.
Like I'm thinking.
I'm just saying, like, dog shit can be burned, and you can
Hey, I
create
saw someone
heat.
make their generator run by the exhaust of the wood they were burning. So I think you're right, Knobs.
That's a gasifier, and yes, it's easily done. But realistically, if you think about it, if you made a slurry and collected the gas off of the slurry, you could run a generator on waste.
Yes, they actually make now a whole system that you can hook up to your house or your camper that is like a compost waste gas. Like it's got a gas vent that you
That's
can hook shit up to.
no, think about that. That's like actually, if you think about that,
my
why
God, we just solved
don't
the
we
energy sector.
use our like we spend all this money to treat our water, right? In a
Mhm.
city. There's thousands and thousands of dollars that are attributed to water treatment. When in actuality, we could just collect all that shit, put it in a tank, and create power from it.
Now
I mean,
imagine
it's
this,
straight methane.
Nubs. Imagine this. Imagine people being responsible for their own shit. That is
Right.
that's marketing right there.
Right.
How
Be
dare you
responsible.
think? How
They
dare
not
you
gonna
guys
have that.
think?
Yeah, they not gonna have that. Yeah, how dare you? See, we gotta stop telling everything, Nubs and Miri, right? Because see, how dare us come up with smart ideas to be happy, right? And then we
No,
start
like for
we start
all
shit.
jokes aside, this is actually potentially, I mean, if you really think about it, if you had a collection of people,
Yeah.
much like a farm. Okay, so on a farm, you have a septic tank or a waste tank, right? And all of your cow poop goes into the trough, and the trough gets cleaned out, and the trough gets put up into the holding tank. Well, what if you use that methane to power your farm?
Okay, excuse me for my face being.
I mean, literally, you have a source of methane that's like 40 feet by 80 feet round.
We're hoping that before shit hits the fan, we can order one of these things that I'm talking about and be golden.
You would have to build it. Honestly, you would have to talk to a mechanic that knows small engines, and then somebody like Larry, because all you need is a small engine to run a belt. Once you have a belt, you can create power. Then you need a place to store power. So to have proficient batteries, that's where Larry's really going to come in. We need a mechanic. I think Chuck down in Tennessee is a mechanic.
Are you a mechanic, Chuck? The group needs to know. Not only, I'm reading Nude Guru's comment. Not only can you create power from that, you can create heat from it as it composts and better the soil. But this is logical and sane, so it will never be a beehive adoptive pursuit.
I don't need the beehive. I just need the fucking
our little
queen.
group. Yeah.
I just need the fucking queen because the queen determines the beehive.
Yep.
The court of popular opinion is very, very beneficial, and the court of popular opinion will most likely get you killed because you can actually run an engine on water. So, and your exhaust then is in turn water. You know, obviously you need to make it dirty water before it comes out clean water, but nevertheless, you can do all these things. So I understand what he's saying, and I absolutely agree, unfortunately, with what he's saying. Nevertheless, for the small timer, somebody like yourself on an independent little piece of land, if you can figure out how to make your own power, you're fucking golden.
That's where the brain has been working for the last 5 years. And I'm at the point where I'll start collecting those supplies as this next chore, like the house gets started. I'll start collecting supplies for my own idea of trying to make that happen on the homestead.
You know, honestly, the way that I see that you being able to make power would be the most logical is through that Trump pump that I've been talking about with you.
Yes, because my thought process was not to just put a hose on it to fill containers, but to put the hose at the beginning of a system that self-perpetuates until I pull the plug.
Well, it's not going to be a self-perpetuation because that defies many, many different laws. And I'm not talking about like man's laws. I'm talking physics laws. However, what you can create is you can create a system that creates one thing and then uses that one thing to power another thing.
Yes.
So in the Trump design,
until you pull the plug, it continues, right?
Right, but the word self-perpetuation, just for clarity, like it's not what you're doing. You're not creating more than you lose. You always lose more than you gain. But you can lose one thing and gain another in higher results, and therefore that higher result then can satisfy your loss on the other side, if that makes sense.
I mean, I think so. In my mind, the only loss is the one anticipated, which is extra water. So in my mind, I would use something like a Trump to get it up from the valley.
See, my thought is you use once you have, all right, I've got to paint a picture, so bear with me. Because that's how I see things. So you've got your water tower that is 4 evenly spaced holes, as I've spoke about.
Okay.
And that's approximately 10 feet to 15 feet above the ground, right?
Right.
Okay. Then you have, within that system holds a vat that can create a whirlpool. Okay. But it also has a place where it can relieve water just as is. So it holds a double purpose, if that makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
So you've got this whirlpool, and this whirlpool is about 15 to 20 feet or 10 to 15 feet off the ground. And then you dig a hole down as far down as you can go. Because the further you go down, the more air pressure you can make. Okay?
Yeah.
So then that air pressure, that's what you run your power generation on. That's what you can run that through a Tesla turbine and not lose your water or your air pressure. You can still harness that air pressure on the backside. And that's what I'm saying by utilizing a product that's made from this. The product is air pressure. So then you use that air pressure to pump your water back up to the top. And so you lose the water from the top, but it goes to the bottom and then pushes other water back up to the top. And because you're running like a Tesla turbine that then runs a system to collect power, whether it be onto a pulley, with some form of generator on the other side.
Mm-hmm.
If you want to do it where you're out there collecting, ceiling fans and making single stage type shit, that's a whole nother game, but easily done. And on the cheap, especially when you have somebody like Larry that could probably wire that shit up in about 15 minutes versus yourself taking a couple of days.
Well, I have a question about this. So
It wasn't me.
I was kind of thinking along what you're saying, but I also noticed that water wheels were a good way to create electricity.
You could
So
also harness that if you have a wasteland. It like as your water comes down and it gets recycled gets put into your system, you'll have water that will constantly be moving. So that water that's moving that I say would be considered a waste that would travel down and trickle down, you could definitely put that into a holding pond somewhere on your property with a hose or with a pipe that goes out to your water wheel and collect power that way as well, because then it would also offset your, and if you were to do that, you could create you could build there's lots of options because of the fact that you have drop on your property. The fact that you have drop on your property
that's why I was calling it self-perpetuating. So even if I went out there with a bucket to begin it, once the water went through that wheel and created electricity, that's how it would then keep itself going.
Right. And there's lots of ways that you can put together one system to another. There's not one system that's the be all do all, in my opinion. I think it's a combination of many systems that are basic.
Yeah.
The key to it is to keep it basic, because if you keep it complex, then you have to understand complex and you have to teach complex. But if you keep it basic,
you were talking complex, I understood, but I didn't I understood because of the concept, but I didn't understand because I knew the definition of the words. You understand?
I understand exactly what you're saying, and that's why I speak in picture as often as possible.
Yes. I find that absolutely works with Evers. But my husband's a construction worker. So his
So he'd
picture
understand both.
He can, but if I don't use the right speak, like I said, I was befuddled with the words, but I understood the concept. If I can't use the right word, that's where the confusion also lies.
Well, much like I was speaking of earlier when I said we have warped the definition of words, so therefore it warps the interior design. Same thing can apply.
Yes.
So for communication's sakes, to look up what these things are in his terms, because he is the builder, he would be the one that would need to know specifics, if that makes sense. So it's your due diligence that would come into play to know A, B, C, and D equal the alphabet.
Right.
If that makes sense.
It sure does. And I just really wish my brain would retain that information. That's where I struggle.
Write it down.
Yeah.
Write it down and put it on a Post-it note right in front of you. You're there quite often. You'll read it quite often, and you'll understand it internally as opposed to externally.
3 hours and 20 minutes, Mary. 3 hours and 20 minutes. You can look back at 3 hours and 20 minutes, and it's 3:25 right now.
It's funny. I have a cork wall planned in the work area so that I could do just that.
Well, plans are great. I have lots of plans. I have plans for a house, but I don't have a house.
I know. I don't have one either. It takes a lot of work, believe me.
I understand what you're saying. I really do, because I'm going through the same struggles, looking at things, however, I also see that if I'm supposed to have a house, I'm going to have a house.
Yes.
And the more I help you with your ideas of creating your homestead, as I've said many times, it brings up ideas, because I've got ideas that I have forgotten about that you would benefit from. And the more I think about it, it recycles back. Like with your water wheel, idea. I absolutely agree. A water wheel is a phenomenal way. You can put 15 of them bastards on a good stream.
Yep.
You know, and instead of top flow, do it underflow. And if you were to take and put a hose in a spiral on your water wheel, as that water is flowing, you can also be harvesting back and collecting back both water and air.
Yep.
And put it into your system below, where it pushes all that stuff right back up and create that loop even tighter in with certain parts of your system. So you have a system that looks more like a feather than a circle.
Right. And
if
the
that
and the
makes sense.
bottom of the feather starts at the valley.
Yep.
And that's why we have to work on everything up top here before we can even venture down there. We have to have all this stuff seeded, or everything we do will only be working at half its actual capability. So we
And see,
want the
I think
stuff at the top done first.
I think I think that is the exact opposite of what I would do. I would work at the bottom and work my way up. Because you climb mountains, you don't drop onto mountains and then come down. You build your foundation first, and then you build your house on top of it.
Yep. That's what we're doing. We're just putting water at the end.
I'm saying because you have two, to me, I look at it where if I was in your situation, I would have two primary tasks. Because those two primary tasks will allow for every other task to come to fruition. The first task is water. The second task is power. Now, obviously, you have power coming in off the line. However, that also means that your husband has to be off of the property to create the money in order to put that money towards that power.
We are not on electrical power.
Oh, you're not on grid?
No, we are completely off grid. We obtain the only things we obtain by our own hands.
Okay. Let me ask you this: do you have a generator? I'm assuming.
We have solar. We have a turbine waiting to be put up, but that is secondary, and we have a generator.
Okay. Turbines are really, really easy, and if you're at the top of a ridge, I would have like 10, 15 turbines easily running at any given time, and I would not do them the vertical way or the windmill style. I would look into some of the newer styles of horizontal turbines, because that way you're catching the wind as it's coming up over the ridge, because it's a constant flow regardless of hot days, cold days. You always have wind on the top of your hill, right?
Let me ask you if I'm picturing the same thing you're talking about. So I was at a garden center, and they had a windmill design with like 4 or 5 different things on it, and I kept thinking, wow, that's a hell of a design for a wind turbine. I wonder if anyone's ever done that.
What I'm talking about is if you were to take just for picture's sake, if you take a paper towel roll, okay, and you cut 4 strips into it in a spiral, right? Then you take that spiral and you put it, instead of vertically, you put it horizontally. And as it's horizontally, you don't have the ability to change the direction. So obviously your wind comes up in one direction off of the top of the ridge. So you put it in that direction and let it sit there and let it spin in a horizontal axis. So it's not really super high up in the air, and there's not a lot of structure that's needed to keep it intact.
Right.
Larry's taking a dab.
I have never thought about that horizontal. Man, I'm going to have to look into that.
Yeah, so much like my bottle here, it would spin.
Yes.
around like this instead of like this.
Right.
And then you can put a couple of them across your ridge, because
And
as
that's
the
less
wind,
dangerous than a vertical turbine.
yes, you'd want if this is your ridge coming up,
Yeah.
hang on. Yeah, you
Yeah,
can
I
see
see
me.
it. I see it. Yeah.
You'd want it right in this little,
Yeah.
because then it's going to catch consistently.
Right.
You get what I'm saying?
Yeah. Yeah, that's a
And it's,
fascinating idea, and I'm really surprised it hasn't caught on.
well, it's gonna be in your local, small scale, individual people. Because you need a guy like Larry to be able to build the battery and all the components on that end, and then you're gonna need somebody to build the turbine itself.
Right.
Or you can build it all easily. I mean, it's not like you can't get out there with some fiberglass and some resin and some barrels and make these things.
Mm-hmm.
It's not that difficult that you couldn't do it by any means.
Right.
But basically what I'm talking about is effectively putting a squirrel cage on its side.
And letting it do the frickin' work for you.
Yes, because then you have power. You always have 10 to 15 mile an hour winds at that ridge point.
Right.
Always.
Yes, absolutely. I live by that's where the yurt is going to be.
Yeah,
and we wanted that.
Always have that little bit of wind coming up in that same direction. It doesn't matter if the wind is blowing north or south or east or west. You always have that ridge wind going.
Yeah.
Consistently. So you put one on every angle, and at least one of them will be running at any given time.
That's more like a forever plan. That's a forever electricity. That's what I was bouncing around in my brain after seeing things like turbines go down or hail hitting solar panels. I'm like, these are pretty serious problems. I need to think myself around if I want electricity and not a telephone and not electric pole.
Well, and that's why I'm saying if you build it yourself, you can manufacture it yourself if something does happen.
Right.
You can also have 3 or 4 of them in storage, ready to go.
Right. Well, that's what I was thinking. I don't have the money to keep $1,000 or $2,000 of solar panels or wind turbines to, just to have a backup all the time. So I was trying to figure my way around that particular thing as well.
Well, that would provide you with all of what you need. If you learn, honestly, what I would do if I were you in this situation is I would go out and I would get a little bit, just a little bit, the small container of fiberglass resin, and then one of the packets of small fiberglass, and just make something. It doesn't fucking matter what it is. Watch a bunch of tutorials and make something. Get some experience with that fiberglass, because it's not that hard to operate. It's not that hard to run. And what I'm talking about, you'd be able to make that something for under $50 with all the materials and everything. And that experience, that $50 experience, will allow you for power for the rest of your life. Because if you make all these temporary things for a homestead that you're gonna be at forever, you're wasting your fucking money. You're wasting your fucking time, and you're wasting your effort. When in actuality, you could do it once and be done. Because once you have a certain amount of power that you're creating, you know how much you're gonna use.
Mm-hmm. I already have that number in my head, so I already know what number to shoot for before going to the next set.
And so here's what I would do. I would take whatever number you have and double it.
Really?
Absolutely.
Yep.
All right.
Because what happens on that one day that you need everything running and you don't have power for everything?
You're gonna
Because you
overdo
plan.
your system.
What?
You'll overuse your system.
Exactly. But if you have everything that you need, let's say you need 100, let's say just for, obviously we're not talking electrical implements, but I'm talking, let's say you needed 100% flour, but you only had 70, but you could have made it so that you could have 200% flour.
Uh-huh.
You get what I'm saying? With the same amount of effort, you get double the amount.
And I'm making a very common problem. It just popped into my head. I'm using numbers based on living in society with electricity at the end of my fingers. I'm not using numbers that I have figured out. I haven't even figured out. That's a really bad mistake. Anybody just take this moment for a minute and realize my mistake with me. I was using numbers while I was on grid and trying to say that it would be the same in a homestead.
So, Mary, would you be saying that all this talk of New York made you think of New York?
No.
Instead of where you're at? I'm joking with you.
Oh, wherever I was living at the time? Yeah.
Right.
Oh my God. Shut up, Nubs. God damn it. That's the same place I picked up the shoecases.
Ironic how we fuck ourselves.
I looked at my daughter yesterday and I'm like, I feel like I'm going to get smacked from Nubs tomorrow. I did say that too.
That's true. Yeah.
I need to shut my mouth and get to work and stop trying to manifest shit.
Is that my favorite hole digger? I mean, my favorite artist in the background there.
She's trying to stay silent and couldn't do it.
Of course she can.
On me. Which one do you want?
You reading. You're there.
I don't want any. I want it all for you.
Mm-hmm.
And in order to do that, you need to go get it. So
I know what you're saying, Nubs, because I have felt the same way with other people in my life. Like I like to celebrate in their success and their joy, and at the same time ask myself when the fuck I'm gonna get up and get my own, right?
isn't it interesting how we fuck ourselves?
Very.
Somebody's getting laid, though. Yeah, and honestly, Mary, if you guys, I just want to put it out there. If you guys would want to sit down and do some consulting, I'd do the first couple hours at no cost or whatever. I mean, obviously, if it was taking up massive amounts of my life, I would have to charge because I can't give me away for free.
Of course.
You know, and then also at some point, maybe in the near future, like next winter, when I don't have work here, you know, hire me out, bring me out there for a week. Let's get some of these projects done, completed, because then, and you say, well, it would cost a lot. Well, think about the cost without it.
Right.
You know, the cost without living in a house. Because realistically, if you had all my bricks built and we set up for next season,
right.
You get what I'm saying? I come out, I put up all this stuff with your husband. Your husband and I go to town. We have our laborers, we have our hole diggers. I mean, the holes are already dug. You know, because that would be those things that would need to be done before I would want to, because then if all my base is set up and ready to go and all I need to do is come put my sticks into the ground, I can put sticks into the ground quickly, faster than you guys can dig holes.
Yes.
You get what I'm saying? So, I mean, I'm just putting it out there. I can travel. That's not a problem. And honestly, as weird as it sounds, I'm not involved in the consequences of these actions. But to me, honestly, bringing Larry from where he is and putting him on the back 40 in the corner,
Right.
would not be a bad idea in my opinion. If I were in your shoes, I would absolutely have Larry bring his jet and park it there.
Well, all I need is for Larry to think about it because this is hard living. Like, I'm not even going to lie. We call this area Colorado's way of eating people up, chewing them, and spitting them out. Like, the first thing the locals said to us is, we'll see if you're here in 5 years. Like, that's how tough it is out here. So I don't want to misconstrue that with anyone. We're dealing with it too, but it is tough. It isn't for the faint of heart, really. So that's the only thing that needs to be thought about and considered very deeply, because we've tried to offer people this, and we tried to offer people this with like what you're saying. And before we ever get like actually into a commitment, I hear things like, or I've heard things like, well, I have money coming, so how much are electricals? And I'm like, that doesn't matter. You haven't been listening to me. If you're asking me how much electricals are to bring to my land, because it's not going to happen. That's not who I am. That's not my goal. And I just need it perfectly understood, because in the past, whether it was my mistake or theirs, it wasn't perfectly understood, and it caused a lot of chaos. So the offer's there, but deep discussion and real deep consideration are months. Because we're very loving and giving people, and we've been down this road, and I'm not gonna lie, and that's part of why there's 20 holes and not 40 holes, is because I got pissed off. I got scared. You might be listening. You might be listening. I got really pissed off, Larry, with 20 holes into it. I had already heard things from very capable men outside the family. You dig the holes and we'll help build it. And I was flabbergasted because I am physically disabled. I have a disabled son, and I have a capable daughter, but just becoming an adult. So I did get mad. And then trying to obtain help. We're going to do it. You know, one couple even dug one hole down to death. And that's when the guy's like, we're going to bring some electric poles and shit. And I don't like, I'll finish this if you want to talk. I don't like when things that are agreed upon change after the commitment's been made. You know what I'm saying? Like, commitment to me goes beyond the stupid paper contract. Commitment is commitment. And the people we've tried in the past had none.
Yeah. Hang on a second, Mary. I just wanted to let Sly know I muted her because she's getting that wind noise again in her mic.
I'm in the kitchen. I'm gonna go out and come back, okay? But I'm really making my breakfast because I need to eat something and get up out of here. So if I don't come back, I enjoyed being here with you guys this morning. Thank you for listening to me always. It's always a pleasure. Linda, I'm sorry that you wasn't here, that your signal wasn't right, but it's always a pleasure that you're here with us.
I've been
All
here
right,
the whole.
don't let that door hit you in the ass.
It's good having you, Sly. Much love and blessings. It's good having you here. Much love and blessings as you go through your day.
Thank you. Linda, I'm sorry, babe. What did you say?
I said don't let the door hit. Go ahead, Linda.
Our feedback is really bad. I don't know if you can hear me.
Oh, okay. My feedback. All right. I'm gonna get going then. All right, Larry. I'm gonna let the doorknob hit me with a good Lord split me. Bye.
All right.
Bye.
See ya.
Does she have a fan or something on, Larry? It sounds like a fan blowing on it.
No, it's something that's been happening to her for a while, kind of like what's been happening with Linda. They get these weird things going on with their system. With Linda, it's echoing and stuff. With Sly, it's been that static wind noise.
Yeah, I just wanted to let her know that I've been here, and I did hear her, and I was wishing her a good day.
No
Hmm.
doubt about it.
It is chilly this morning.
Yeah, we're chilly here too a little. I actually put the sweater under the blanket to warm up before I put it on.
I was thinking about starting a fire. It's that chilly. Oh my goodness.
Yes, new guru. I absolutely agree. He says it's tough to set up, especially when you don't know how, but it's a hell of a lot tougher not to pursue the path of self-sufficiency 100%. And once set up, if set up properly, the simplicity of it all is the way of life. I absolutely agree. And I think that's the truth that's hidden because they want people on their systems in cities and stuff. You know what I'm saying? That's how these systems keep working. But
So I wanted,
I'm with New Guru, man. It's actually simpler than
so I wanted to show you the newest bike I was working on. Well, it's not new, but you guys haven't seen this one before. It's actually her bike, but like I said, I think I'm going to start using it. I bought this bike from $20 from a neighbor, and it didn't run. And then I put new motor and controller and stuff on it. It actually folds too.
you have a fold up electric bike.
Yeah,
Nice.
Holy shit! Really,
yeah, it's
dude?
pretty
That
old actually, but it's in pretty good shape.
along the lines of what Moose was saying, like when you do go work on it, do a little videotaping, and it'll be a segment of your show working on the electric bike, number one, right?
Yep.
And then people will come just for that, and then maybe stay for conversation or what have you.
You know what's funny though too is that little bike is actually when I had all three bikes going, that little bike went the fastest. It does like 38 miles an hour.
Holy shit! You better buy freaking knee pads, elbow pads, and a helmet.
I'll tell you with those little wheels, it's got 16-inch wheels. You get going that quick and it gets pretty scary. Uh-oh.
You know that's my signal. I love you guys.
All right, you
Love
take care.
you. Have a
Have a
blessed
good
day.
day.
Don't
All
let the
right.
dog hit you.
Ouch. Okay. Bye.
Uh,
How quick they forget we're in training.
well, you know, kids, that's their job.
No, I was laughing about our kicking out, the door hitches.
Yeah, we all
Once you
have our
caught on.
quirks. We all have our quirks, right? Well, I'm sure for a long time people were thinking we were crazy talking about water bottles.
Wow.
You know what I'm saying? It's like, what the hell's up with these fucking water bottles? Why do they always grab their fucking water bottles?
To each their own.
These guys are crazy. And I'm like, no, I'm cray cray.
Well, I need to get set on my chores, so I'm gonna bounce myself.
All right, girl, you take care. I think I'll probably end this thing pretty soon. It's been almost 4 hours already, and
It's been a
get
great stream.
do
Got a lot of knowledge.
some stuff around the house. I'm hoping it's going to be another nice day. Yesterday was pretty nice, so I went
Oh,
outside,
sweet.
did some shit outside. I figure a little bit every day. It's finally get done, you know.
Yeah, and then you get to soak in some sun as well.
Yeah, well, definitely. I mean, when it's sunny out, when I go outside, I definitely get in a lot better mood. When it's
Yeah.
Rainy and cold and stuff outside, I definitely don't get as energetic. Let's say.
Right, makes sense.
All right, girl. Damn, I can
All
hear
right.
those. Sounds beautiful.
Yeah, the chickens definitely bring in a lot of birds.
Yep. All right. We have a great day, and we'll talk to you later.
All right. Yeah.
That
Take
door
care.
hit you. Don't let that
Say
door
it.
hit you.
All right.
uh, so, does anybody else would like to join in or have some enlightenment they want to give everybody before we end this, or we can keep going if you got something you'd like to share? Well, it's good having everybody here for the day. Once again, I think it was a really good stream. We talked about a lot of good things, a lot of good information. I hope everybody has a great day, and we'll do it again soon. Y'all take care, and same time, same bat channel.